everybody. Welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. We've got cool stuff. Also, my friend's blinking icons did not appear, so we're going to find out if that's going to work.
We're gone! We're vanished!
It's weird. Yeah,
we don't exist.
yeah, I don't know why. That was bizarre, because you guys normally are there. I don't know if you guys can hear anybody. Anybody in the chat, if you can hear them, let us know while I try to resync them, because for some reason it's not.
By the way, yeah, I don't hear Ryan.
Okay, cool.
Where am I in the void? Oh no! Help!
We're both in the void.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
Okay.
There we go.
Are we back?
I heard myself. Yeah.
Okay. You guys can hear them. Just the icons didn't appear.
Were we rescued from the void? Did Sound use his Doctor Strange magic to save us from the void?
Yeah, I used my main Sue Storm. There we go. I accidentally activated Sue Storm's ultimate, made you guys invisible, and now it turned it off. So you're good now.
Oh, there we go.
That was weird. I guess I didn't check that well enough before we started. It was you guys were there, then I went to the intro video and I came back and it's like, where'd they go? All right. Anyways, technically up to the side. Welcome back to another lovely Monday. I say lovely. It's 72 in this room. For some reason winter just ended yesterday.
Meanwhile, it's snow for us. It's snow for us.
Yep. It snowed yesterday. Yeah, it's a lot of snow on the ground right now.
We had snow last Wednesday, and then now we have spring weather. So I don't know. It's really bizarre. It is first of the month time, which means I'm gonna get some memberships.
Membership.
It's the first of the month.
Membership gifting. Gift some memberships. There we go. All right. Who we got? Oh my god. A long loser name.
All right, so Chris, Colin, Drew, the Midnight, Bubs, Gang 1, Oni Chan, Mr. Smelly Potato. No, that's one Rotten Tomato then.
That's 4. Where's the 5th? Oh wait, no, that is 5. That is 5. Let me do the other 5. Click. Here we go. And here comes the next 5.
So we have Star Who, Kylie Bauer Enjoyer, Kyle Birdwall, Star Warrior Robbie, Van Gogh, Girl.
So a couple people that have had gifted memberships before, and several new ones. So there you go, guys. That's my monthly gifted membership to start the month thing that I'm glad YouTube lets me do. So I'm glad you guys enjoy that. And we will do a member exclusive live stream this month. Tentatively, probably the last Sunday of the month, just because I've got huge videos working on the next couple weeks, and then I have to so it'll probably be the week after. Let's see, it'll be next week. I'm going out to see Paddington and Captain America, and then the week after will probably be that. But there's a lot of big videos. We got 2 rundowns. And the biggest viewing guide I've ever done coming in the next 3 weeks. So that'll be fun, because that means there's a lot of work to do, but it'll be good videos. So it'll be good times. All right, let's give a shout out to everybody in our chat while I look at a couple things here.
Welcome, 94 Kun, AR, 1954, LPG, Transfer Red, MJ Climate, Techie T, Santa Salim, Spider-Man Prime, MG4 Jason, the person, Tom McCain, and Zelchex.
Welcome, everybody. I kind of want to say the person in the way we say Zawaldo. Zapossum. Welcome, everybody. It's kind of a light news week.
It's Super Bowl weekend, so
yeah,
that's why.
I'm not planning to watch the Super Bowl, by the way. I'm planning to just binge the Paddington movies.
I mean, do you even know anything about? Oh, do you just love when Photoshop crash?
Yes, it happened to me last week when I was trying to do something. What was it? I don't follow football, so the Super Bowl doesn't do much for me. And so I usually just would watch it for the commercials, but the last 2 years of commercials have been terrible. So I'm like...
Also, the Super Bowl is a mess now, because it's such I think they now start to use AI crap all over the place. I noticed.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the halftime performance, and I'm not interested. And there's going to be movie trailers dropping, but that's what YouTube exists for. And then some of them are dropping early, like Fantastic Four's dropping a trailer tomorrow, and Jurassic World's dropping one on Wednesday, and they just put out a teaser for Megan. So I'm like, why do I even watch the Super Bowl?
Final Destination, the new Final Destination movie got a teaser today.
Oh, that's true.
Also,
That too. Spiders Prime said there's the Puppy Bowl. Yeah, the Puppy Bowl's cool. And they're
Oh,
doing.
wait, what?
Bowl.
Wait, what's
I-
the Puppy Bowl?
I love the Puppy Bowl. It's just adorable. It's just they put puppies on like a little play field that looks like a tiny little football field, and they just have them play around. It's cute.
I love
And James
that.
Gunn's going to be there to advertise Superman during the Puppy Bowl.
Oh yeah, for crypto.
For crypto, yeah. Which with how good Dogman did this weekend, that's a good idea to lean into dogs.
Oh, I forgot about Dogman.
Oh,
Oh man,
wow, really? I
actually forgot it came out.
Yeah, it came
Right,
out and it made back its budget in the first weekend.
I'm surprised because mostly it's a January movie, but they get if I'm assuming right, they're using the same studio as Captain Underpants, which that's a budget cheap
I think it's
studio.
the same production team and studio as the Captain Underpants TV show on Netflix.
Really, because that's a 2D anime. Probably didn't
Yeah.
have a 3D division, probably.
But
yeah,
yeah,
I'm not.
it's welcome Logic Blaster. I think I haven't seen Dogman, but I heard it was great.
I grew up with Dave Pilkey stuff, so like
I knew
it has
Captain
that.
Underpants, but I was out by the time Dogman came around.
Yeah, Dave Pilkey is influenced by humor, liking stupid humor.
Yeah.
Oh god, I might see it. It's one of those like, if I'm free this weekend, I might go see it scenario.
I think I'll probably go. I'll probably see it when it hits Netflix.
Yeah, that might be the case because
I gotta go. I'm gonna go because I'm going to 2 movies.
yeah,
the following weekend. Cap and Paddington.
Cap's good. Yep.
But Paddington
Paddington?
first because
I didn't know that was out.
It's coming
Coming
out
out.
the
Dang.
14th.
Dang.
Happy Valentine's Day.
The UK
Also-
got Paddington back in November. I'm jealous.
Also, it's the 5th anniversary of Sonic Movie 1.
Oh yeah, that's true. Let's see. What was it? Somebody said something. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, Dogman though, it made back its budget in the first weekend, so it's definitely a success. Because even if it slows down significantly in the second weekend, like it's gonna make its money.
I
back.
mean, it's the only family picture I think out currently.
It
of
is,
the
and
new year.
then Paddington's coming out in a couple weeks, but still gives Dogman like 2 whole weeks, right? Like that still gives Dogman 2 whole weeks of box office, and then it'll do amazing on streaming for sure. But yeah, like I knew Dogman was popular. I didn't realize how popular it was. Let's see. In relation to that, Muteki said estimates on Love Hurts with Ki Hui Kwan. I hope that movie does well. I've thought about going out to seeing it. I don't know if I will.
I saw that movie on my Rico app just to get rid of the notification.
Yeah, it looks fun, but yeah, my goal this year. I don't make New Year's resolutions because I never feel like there's a point.
Same.
But my New Year's resolution this year is for the whole year. I'm just gonna watch more movies. If I'm interested in something, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna overthink it. Like, is it good? Is it bad? Does it fit with this? Do I like the style? Like, I'm just gonna watch more movies. Like,
Get out of
just
your
in
comfort
general.
zone.
Yeah.
What else you need? It's the concept to get out of your comfort zone because the problem a lot of people have is like they're too stuck in their comfort zone and don't refuse to
And
get
it's
out
easy
of
to
it.
do.
And
Like you expand you broaden your horizons and you figure out what you like, and then you get like right into what you like, and then sometimes you forget to broaden the horizons. So I was just like, I'm just gonna watch more movies. And kind of what kicked me into that was Nosferatu, because that was a movie that outside of the Nosferatu name, I wouldn't say I would be interested in, like, like that kind of film, but then I really liked it. Even though I don't want to watch it again, I was like really glad I watched it. So I kind of want to do that, and I've been watching a lot of older films lately. I did just watch Jackie Chan's Police Story on Friday. Because I just straight up just bought the Blu-ray.
By the way.
I was like, I want to watch Police Story. The reason why this is all like psychological is basically watching Section 31 made me want to watch a good Michelle Yeoh movie. So I was like, I'm going to buy the 4K for Super Cop. But since Super Cop is Police Story 3, I thought, let me get the first 2 police stories, because I knew of the first one but never fully seen it, and the second one I had never seen at all. So I thought I should get them. And so I watched the first one, and I was like, this is an amazing movie. I had such a good time watching it. And so I'm going to watch the second one soon, and then watch Super Cop again, which will be really great. Fantastic movie, just incredible stunt work. Like the opening sequence to Police Story is amazing. And I'm like, I don't even know how they pulled it off,
been
even though
years since I've seen it.
yeah, it like there's like this thing where they're like there's like a village on a hill and they like plow through it with a bunch of cars. I'm like, how'd you even shoot that? Like,
Yeah,
how
no,
much did you
legit.
build? Yeah.
When you see it's freakish. It's well, have you seen some of the other movies? The blue bloopers you've seen Jackie
Hmm.
what he break his leg, split his head open.
They kept showing shots of people passed out because they were filming it in a heat wave.
Oh God.
Oof.
The end credits is just a montage of like, look at all the pain we went through to make this movie. Great movie though, just incredible stuff. Um, let's see who else
You
popped.
know what's
Somebody
funny though?
who else popped in the chat here. Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead. Go.
oh, you mentioned want to watch more movies. I also resolved to watch more movies in theaters, but I have a much simpler reason. I just really like those chairs.
Oh, they got good chairs at your theater. Yeah, my theater's getting upgraded
Yeah,
to the recliners.
yeah, that's what they have, and
Mhm.
they're so nice. I'm just like,
It makes you want to
because
go, right?
where I'm sitting now is the opposite of comfortable. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
Welcome, Mr. Air Force 16. Mohammed Faiz Daniel said, crazy week for events. Beyonce finally won Best Album. I am happy
Oh,
she
that's right.
finally won. I didn't know that, but I'm really glad
I saw
because,
that. Yeah.
yeah, Beyonce should get more credit because she's Beyonce.
Mm.
As Static Shock said when he met Batman Beyond in the future, you can just call me Beyonce. Hey Bruce, do you know who this kid is? He calls himself Beyonce.
Beyonce. I love that.
Let's see where are we at. Muhammad, I would avoid spoiler parts for Boom Boonger. I haven't seen the most recent episode because I usually watch Boom Boom on Mondays, so like after the
Go
show.
back. Wait, I don't think we'll put it under our dingies, but what do you think of that episode 0 of Gozuger?
It was weird.
You mean Welcome Back to Icy Warriors Gundam? Because that's all I could think of.
Yeah,
I
welcome,
watched.
That's why I
Courier
was so hyped.
64. I was
That's
like,
why I was so hyped.
because I kind of liked like I like the idea of it. They weren't fighting a battle royale between mecha; it was a battle royale.
Yeah, but I was
against
saying, ease my worriness when I saw
Yeah.
the teaser. Go like, oh, okay, it's like it got really giving Ultraman Ginga vibes of like
It gave
all,
me
like, the
Ultraman Taiga vibes.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
Right, because the beginning of Ultraman Taiga, they get defeated by Tragear and they turn their energy into rings and send them at Earth, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the Gojuju episode 0 was like.
Yeah.
It definitely did look like a video game cutscene.
Yeah. I was like, man, I would love the man Dynasty Warriors Sentai where you just
Actually,
play
it'd
as
be
the
really
Sentai
fun.
mechas. Because I think also like I think I'm like the only one that actually likes the CG model of Daijujin in it. Most of it, like the only thing I don't like about it is why did they put the clips in the legs? That's super unnecessary.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna see that same model get reused for like a toy commercial for Robo Universe soon.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one of those things where it's like
Yeah.
man, the toy didn't suck.
Does anybody have any thoughts of Luka Doncic traded to Lakers for Anthony Davis or Jay Uso winning the Royal Rumble? Because I don't have any thoughts on either of those. 'Cause I don't follow them.
That's wrestling, right?
Wrestling and basketball.
I know, Kaneki Man.
Yeah. Psycho O's, yes, you need a Skyquake because I said so.
Is that the Gold Plastic Syndrome dude?
No, it's
Oh
the
no,
legacy
that's the
one.
legacy,
Yeah,
the legacy one. Yeah, I was thinking the original toy.
Oh, that's true. Well, it's true. Motegi. There is clips in the models in Boom Boonger for Gokaio. So
Which I don't like.
I don't like it.
I don't.
I appreciate the accuracy. They're like, well, if we can't make the toy accurate to the model, we'll make the model accurate to the toy.
But it's still not accurate because the proportions.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what else we got. I was just gonna check before we got into the news. Police Story. Oh yeah, Police Story is only on Blu-ray. I don't think there's a 4K out there, or at least if there is, there's not. It wasn't available in like Region A. But Criterion put out a 2-pack of the first two, and it's like $25 on Amazon, which is like a hell of a deal.
I feel like that's I feel like that could be a Criterion collection thingy probably.
Yeah.
That movie's well known enough where I feel like that could be
4K.
a 4K Criterion collection thing.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna because Criterion's been re-releasing a lot of their movies onto 4K because they didn't do 4K for the longest time.
Which
So
is
maybe,
weird. Which is weird because you think that like
yeah.
this prestige like company would do 4K and all that
Legitimately,
stuff.
they were the last company to embrace 4K. Discotek got to 4K before Criterion did.
That's so weird.
It's so bizarre. But if they re-release Police Story on 4K, I'll buy it. Because as long as it's the same like 2-pack, I don't have to buy them separately. Because I looking so forward to the second one. But yeah, let's talk about last week's videos. So in the shorts category, I did a video about the Archerizer being weird because I felt like it.
But like, I want to make sure because like you said you couldn't access the final sound. Is it one of those you have to spin it again and you get the final
No,
attack noise? No.
if you spin
Okay.
it again, it just does the transformation again. I looked up videos on it. The attack sounds are only in the weapons.
Oh, okay. That's so weird. I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like, but still, that's weird.
I'm also not exactly sure why there is a rail system reader in the Archerizer because all it does is just flash a light at the same interval for every cube.
I does the sword use the rails? I
Yes.
wonder. Yeah, so that's probably
Sword uses
why.
the rail, so I think it's but the interesting part is I don't know why it's not just like one button that it just reads that there's a cube in there.
It kind of it really kind of reads Dark Rise really feels like the whole like Super Ride like we're gonna do the show before Batman can get to us
Yeah.
scenario, because like especially how the final episodes show how important like the Galaxy Cube is. I don't think Batman was ever planning that to be like a big thing, and the show team was like we're gonna make this like a major plot point.
Yeah.
And it's just all that stuff, and Batman's like crud.
Yeah, it's kind of wild because it's like if you just have a cube, you have all the sounds. You don't even need the Arizer. Like you can get the
like
full sounds in the cube.
Which I mean, I think it's a better
Oh.
version of the gamer driver from
Yeah.
XA. 'Cause the gamer is just literally a hunk of plastic.
Yeah, at least this has sounds and lights for the sound of it turning and stuff. Um, but I'm glad I spent $50 for that and like the other two cubes, like total. Like I didn't spend too much on it. And then I did a video on the One Piece Yahtzee I got for
The-
Christmas.
I don't know why the super thick black islands, the buggy cuts on the hat weirds me out.
It
I don't
does.
know why. It just looks so weird
Because the
to
figure
me.
art and the live action figure art have that
Yeah,
detail, but it's
it's
stitching.
stitch
Yeah,
in. Yeah, it just looks so weird.
it
It's like it
does.
kind of looks kind of gross and such.
Yep. As for full length videos last week, we had I reviewed the Hia Toys Star Trek figures, which are honestly not worth their price. Find out more details in
Those
there.
honestly, those are crap.
I
Those
don't
figures
like
are.
them.
No,
I won't want to
when
say
you
they're
say the price,
terrible, but like at
Oh no!
$25, they're not good.
$25
The quality on them are
for that. I'm
miserable.
expecting Dragon Stars, not whatever that is.
Yeah,
The quality of them are like bad. Like essentially, like, you didn't point it out, but I know all my eyes. No, all I notice is the horrible flashing on
yeah.
the elbows. They were like, that's not like that's like for 10. If these were $10, like okay,
It's
I can't
amazing
wait.
because their Godzilla figures are really good from everything I've seen, but these figures aren't.
Yeah, and also like the hand has with the hands and how you actually poke a hole.
Yep.
Essentially, the proportion. Like I didn't do it because I didn't have time. But I was thinking in my brain like I should do like a stupid doodle gag of gorilla arm Kurt with hole in hand or something like that.
Like
Like
it's legit like welcome Axel Ranger. It's legit like they're really underwhelming and I don't really want to buy the rest of them. I might get the Strange New Worlds Pike because he has double elbows and bicep swivels. So like maybe they just like
hopefully it's
overhauled them.
better. So
Um,
hopefully it's better. But like the fact
but
also
the
the
other
fact that
problem,
they're
I
all
looked at
the
the
same body.
pictures. Every single figure in the line uses that body. So the problem is that Chekhov and
So they're
Sulu are
so
going to be
they're
too
all
tall.
so they're all more combat ninjas.
Yeah, like, but the problem also with that is that Sulu and Chekhov are going to be too tall. Scotty's going to be too
Maybe that's
tall.
why. Maybe that's why they haven't done a Hurrah. They had to
Yeah,
make a new mold.
because yeah, I actually had to make a new mold because they made Nero, Keenzer, and original Spock, which are new molds, but still, it's like, where's the Uhura? Like, if there was an Uhura, I'd at least get the main cast, you know. But at this point, I'm just probably gonna go cancel all my pre-orders. Maybe I'll get
Also,
Strange New Worlds Pike and see if he's better.
the the greenish yellow on Kurt's
Yeah,
gross.
it
It's like
is.
a EU color.
Yep, but the review's out there for people to know. And then we also had a comic haul for January because I looked at my
uh,
shipments and I was like, I'm not getting anything else in January. Let's just do this now.
yeah, even if the views are low, I still like you making those videos because
Yeah,
I think it really does help people figure out what to get, or more like figure out how the comics work. But like,
Honestly, it's
man,
actually it's performing a little bit better than the December one.
but man,
Yeah.
I think we need more relaxed videos like this, because man,
Yeah.
that's the worst part of comic YouTube. It's all grifters.
I
Like,
know.
not all, like, it's not all grifters, but like, man, there's like every
There's
time
a
I
lot
look
of
up a, like,
grifters.
there's
Yeah.
grifters are just very like negative videos. Like, I don't think the video content creator I saw was a grifter, but like I saw like a video called like the failure of Wolverine's kids, and like, failure, like Laura's one of the most popular characters
I
in
know.
Marvel.
And
I'm
also, if
like,
you smack Talk Dockin', I'll probably agree, but don't smack Talk Dockin'.
yeah, but like I see like some kind of like
Yeah.
we need more positive videos about comic books. It's kind of a miserable lane.
And I
When
will
you
say,
get like
I do, I do admit that, like, a lot of my format for this is just like, let's just go over the books. I was watching it back and I was like, damn, this feels like a near mint condition video. So I want to kind of figure out how to put my own spin on it. But
that's not
that's not a
bad. I
bad
say
thing
that's
because
not.
that's one of the best comic channels.
And also, like,
Yeah.
that's the best kind of video.
I just
To
want to
me,
talk
the
about
best.
the books I got, you know?
Wait, to me, the best way to for me, I feel like the best way to describe to get more people to comics is just casually talk them. I
Yeah.
think if you overcomplicate stuff, like talking about the history of the character, like a big, here's this and this and the character this and that, it kind of overcomplicates things. It
Mm.
makes it overwhelming. You go in the very casual way, talking about the stories and the characters and why you love them and why it's
I got
good. Is a
Darkard
much
into reading
more
X-Men comics because he was at Ollie's and they had stuff on sale. And I was like, you should buy that one.
nice. Nice.
So,
It's yeah. To
yeah.
me, a casual conversation, talking about casually gets more people into it. I feel like 'cause
No, definitely.
it's more at ease. It's just more at ease. It just like go like, oh, that sounds nice. I might check it out when I go to the bookstore next time. Scenario.
Mm.
Feel.
AR said he picked up Fantastic Four Full Circle. That's an amazing comic. It's Alex Ross and his artwork.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's
oh, I love Alex Ross. Yeah.
what he did is that instead of coloring it realistically like he normally would, he did it in 60s pop art colors. So it's
Oh,
like
that's cool.
oranges and blues and yellows, and it's incredible. They released a regular edition, and then they just released an expanded edition, which is kind of expensive, but I kind of want to buy it again because it has like bonus material in it. Fantastic Four Full Circle is a great comic. But yeah, I just I think talking casually about comics is the type of videos I want to talk about. Also shout out to Casually Comics who talks about comics casually. Welcome Spin Dash, glad you're here. Psycho said at Legacy Dreadwing are all the hips messy. They're a little messy. They're a little
A little
messy.
bit messy, but not too
Yeah.
bad, honestly.
All right, so that was last week on the channel. Actually, since I'm in this view, let's just do this now. I just wanted to talk about, because we talked about the trailer, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, because the first 2 episodes came out. I just wanted to talk about it for like 5 minutes. I liked it. It was a good start. I think that a lot of people who are critics that have seen the whole season have said it's really great, and I have no doubt it will be. I think it was a good start. I think I enjoyed a lot of the character dynamics. Though I will say I think Peter Parker's my least favorite character. Kind of like the
And
other
that's not
characters
even
more.
counting the actor's stupid.
Yeah, even
I had the
ignoring the
same feeling,
actors'
and I thought,
comments and whatever, which don't make any sense. I don't even mind the animation too much, but
I think for me with the animation, it's one of those things where the animation I think is good, but I wish it used more squash and stretch. It's a
yes.
bit too rigid. I feel like
I think I've also watched
with the
enough
style.
Polygon Pictures. I've watched enough Polygon
Yeah,
Pictures productions. I'm just used to it at this point.
yeah, that is definitely true. That is, I think, the biggest problem with Polygon is they don't really. And I understand for shows like Transformers Prime and even like Pacific, because they did Pacific and Black, right?
Pacific Rim: The Black, Transformers Prime, and Tron Uprising.
Those make sense to be more rated because
Yeah.
the way the
And
style of
Prime had an
storytelling and
insane
tone.
budget, which is why it looked so good.
To-
Like
and
Hasbro
also
almost
why
went
and also
bankrupt with Prime.
yeah, we just got the fall of it. But this show, since it wants to do this big comic styling, it makes me wish they did more comic effects, like more squad stretches, especially more Pias and stuff like that. Like that's my big criticism as an animation thing. Like it's one of those things where I can see the vision, but I feel like there needs to be more oomph
Yeah.
to it. And yeah,
And
I
maybe it'll
agree.
improve
I agree
over the
that
course of the season too. Like X-Men was definitely stronger after episode 2. The first 2
oh yeah,
episodes were a
definitely.
little rougher than the rest, and like by episode 3, they were just animating Goblin Queen like the wife who she is.
That's yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I also agree. Like with the big thing I know we talked about this. Where the big feeling of the show is like this should have been Miles. It really like
Yeah.
essentially the urban feel the show gives
And like the
off.
community feel, the
Like
community
the
focus.
community
Yeah.
feel. Yeah, like it just feels like because Miles's big thing is being more like Spidey is Peter is all about you being your favorite Spider-Man. Miles really fits more that feel. Like he's like the one that goes talk to the community and
Hmm.
stuff like that and such like that. There's a lot of great scene. Honestly, my favorite scene of the show is the scene with Lonnie
Yeah.
Lincoln, which is just him going home. It's like my favorite scene of the whole show so far.
And that's why
It,
I
it,
feel
it,
like the Spider-Man actor, like his comment was stupid, and I think he's just a dumbass. I don't even think he knew what he said.
I know. I think I question like, oh, it's where it was too woke. I'm like, do you know what show you're looking
I
like,
was like,
like voicing for? Like the
I was like,
show
the
where
show
the
that
black man,
tackles like social issues and has black people in prominent roles, and you're gonna tell
the
me.
showrunner is a black show. It's black.
And the
Like
showrunner was even like, he even had like a statement. He was like, I don't even know why he said that. Like,
it's the it
so I
really
was like,
does feel
sorry,
like
our actor's a dumbass.
I think it really feels like the actor doesn't even know what that word means.
Yeah, I think
Scenario.
so. I think so.
But yeah, no. I think I am gonna keep watching the show because I think there is promise. Yeah, the first two episodes I did enjoy, but like it didn't like grab me. But
Yeah,
I didn't like
I didn't
dislike.
love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I think one of my
Mm.
favorite sequences too was the Norman Osborn scene that was like a parallel to the
Oh,
Tony
Tony.
Stark scene. Yeah, I like things like that, but I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to. I want to watch more of it for sure. I mean, worst case scenario, there's a Daredevil episode in 2 weeks, so yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah, that'll be in the next batch, right?
Yeah, I think he's in episode 6.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to kind of touch on it. I think it's good. I'm looking forward to seeing more. I definitely think if it can develop some more and continue to improve, I think it'll be really really solid. Um,
hmm
all right, that's I think enough of that for now. Let's go to news. This is PSA news. If you were a fan of the Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid board game, and dropped off of it like I did, you may not have known it's ending. Which I did know it was
Hey,
ending.
what?
The final expansion for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid is up for Kickstarter now. It's already cleared past its goal. It funded in 6 minutes. It had $10,000 goal. It's at $199,000 right now, with 24 days to go. I'm not going to do weekly updates on this just because I think most of the audience doesn't care about weekly updates. But it is they are announcing that this is going to be the final big box expansion for the game. And so within this, it's going to be like there's a little message here. They're like, we've
So
enjoyed this, but it's ending, basically.
so what
Their
I would
Power
say
Rangers
is,
license isn't ending, just this game is.
I would say, um, the Kickstarter trailer is horrible. I did not get that vibe watching the Kickstarter
I
trailer
didn't even.
because
I gotta tell you, I have not watched a Kickstarter trailer in years. I usually just look at the project and go, "Yeah, that's the thing I want," and then I back it. Like I didn't even look at the trailer for
but yeah,
this.
but the video is important because that gives you an idea of. And I was watching; it was a bunch of clips of people playing the game, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But they didn't tell you what the product is, and
Oh
like
my
I
god.
go like. I'm like, what? The only time they showed what you're getting in this Kickstarter is the very end, where they didn't even talk about it.
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god. That's
that, yeah,
crazy.
that's my problem. That's when you said it was ending. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because I did not get that vibe at all watching the trailer at all. So
Welcome, Josh Frisch. He says, I enjoyed this game, but I never have people that are interested in playing it. I had some people play it when it was new, but then COVID hit, and that just kind of blew up
yeah,
the
that's
board
always the
game.
problem with these kind of games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of card games and board games that came after Japan got hit really hard. Except
Mm.
Digimon, except Digimon,
Except
surprisingly.
Digimon.
But I
That's
think,
somehow, I think because a lot of people did Digimon stuff over Skype and Discord.
well, because the way how Digimon is played, you
You
can
don't touch
play.
the other person's cards ever, right?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just play through. You can easily play that. I played the game
Mm.
several times on webcam with my friends, so that game is easy to play. So wait for digital version, Bandai.
Yep. Welcome up on the
So,
under.
so what is the Eternal Ranger?
So the
Is that like
Eternal
a more?
Rangers. So the way this is going to work is it's one big box, $125. And here's everything included. I backed this, by the way, just so everybody knows. Because I'll get
Is
to
this for?
why. Because
Is this the first thing? Is this the first thing you got from Heroes of Grid since the original Heroes of
no,
Grid
I did do
showcase
the
you did?
first I think 3 waves of expansions. I was keeping up with it. I just wasn't doing videos on it because those videos were a huge time sink and the view counts were.
It was sad because I put so much work on those back
I
in
know.
the day.
we both put a lot of work into them, and I was just like,
Oh yes,
I was like, if there's going to require this much work and they're not going to do these views, then I'm not going to do it.
Telma, you say Z Ranger suits, but I don't see what the only
Actually,
Z
there's
Ranger
no
suit,
Zhu Ranger suits in this set.
unless you count Draken, but that's a very much like
Yeah,
2%
there's
of
still
the
like Mighty
Q&A.
Morphin stuff, but like we'll get to that. So basically, the main box is going to contain 18 miniatures. It's going to be the 5 main Mystic Rangers, right? Blue, pink, green,
Which is
red,
that's
yellow.
random. It's kind of random, but okay.
I think it's because they had already done Korag in a previous box.
I have to complete the set.
Yeah. We got Black Ninja Ranger Adam. Everybody loves Adam as the Black Ninja Ranger because that was like
I mean,
the
that's
most requested
about
thing that got into Battle for the Grid, right?
yeah. Also, MGK, who made Heroes of Grid, Renegade Games is the company who made Heroes of
Yes.
Grid.
We're also to kind of represent the teams they didn't get to. There is the Cosmic Fury Zenith Ranger and the Turbo Blue Ranger.
And champagne color.
Yeah, he's actually in champagne color. And then for villains, we got Master Zed, Evil Dino Fury Blue Ranger, Death Ranger, Final Form Draken, Poisandra, Emperor Grum, Madame Odious, Vipra, Nadira, and Zergane. So kind of a lot of gap fillers, but a bunch of these characters never have had any figures before, like Vipra.
Or Grum.
Or
Master
Nadira.
Zed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nadira, yeah.
Or Master Zed. Or Evil Dino Fury
Yeah,
Blue
yeah.
Ranger.
Or Death Ranger. So a good chunk of them. I think the only ones with dot figures is Zergane, Draken, and Odious.
Yeah, and Posandra.
And Posandra, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Toma said, wait, they're doing an anniversary of Magi Ranger before Toei does? Yeah, kind of hard. All right, so then there's going to be 10 character cards, of course, the Rangers, 90 combat cards, 10 Zord cards. The Zord cards include Megazords as well. So there's like the RPM Ultra Zord, the Claw Armor Megazord, the Mega Megazord from Shattered Grid, the Ninja Ultra Zord, like that kind of stuff. A bunch of enemy cards. You're going to get a player's compendium, which is going to be a hardcover book with all the rule books, all the scenarios, and all the FAQs. Every info.
That's why you bought it.
Yes. All in one of everything that was released for the game officially in a book, which I really like. They also will have.
What you're saying is, Soundout, you'll include this in your comic call video.
Technically, I could, yes. So there's also going to be PDF, PNG, and PSD files so that you can create your own Rangers and monsters. So there's going to be like templates and stuff, so you can just custom make your own stuff. And then you're going to get a designer journal from Jonathan Ying, which is a 20-page rule book on how to go into creating your own Rangers and monsters. Since the game is card-based, you can make your own cards, basically. And that's why they're calling it Eternal Rangers, because this is going to give you the tools so that you can make your own stuff.
Because I'll say I like that Eternal Ranger design. Honestly,
Yeah.
That's honestly like a cool like design for like either like a Morphing Master Ranger or like the equivalent of Akka Ranger, like a PR equivalent to Akka Ranger, where it's a Ranger that can like be anything it wants to be, kind of thing. I like the design. That design goes hard, honestly.
It does, yeah.
Like,
and I like the idea behind it because it's like representing like you can make your own. You can make because you can make cards based on Rangers that existed in canon that we didn't get official characters of, or you can just make your own like custom.
honestly, I kind of hope they use that give it like Eternal Ranger in Prime. That's a
Yeah.
I think that's a concept I think they should like explore more, because like
I think it'd be really cool. Yeah.
Like just like a Ranger that has like the powers of a Morphing Master could be really cool. Honestly, I think.
Yeah, I agree. MJ Klein says, hoping you review it after you get it. I'll do an unboxing for the final one.
I mean, if you want to cosplay it, you could probably use one of those like reflective, shiny fabrics. Probably.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
With the rainbow reflected. That seems like a cool. That feels like a cool like way to cosplay it scenario.
Yep. They also do have a message that says they're not, unlike the other campaigns where they do like a little like pre-order campaign with like backer kit or something, and then they'd sell them on their store later. This is the only way to get this box. If you want to get it, you got to do it on Kickstarter. And they did say that there may be some excess stock because, of course, they're going to get extras to make sure they can get, any issues resolved. And so they said this is the only opportunity for you to get this box, and that the stuff that exists is now out of print. So whatever stock remains is like what remains. There is a ton of stretch goals, and they've cleared a bunch of them. So they're including the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers vintage promo card set, which was originally in the first Kickstarter as a bonus. There's going to be a Forever Green Ranger card set, which are 20 Green Ranger cards that can be used with any Green Ranger. There's going to be a 12x12 art print of the cover art with the Eternal Ranger on it, which is awesome. 4 gold dice will be included. The book is now a hardcover. They're going to include Omega Blue Ranger, and it's actually Yale. We got our cat Blue Ranger as a figure, at least in as a miniature form.
I'll put it next to your lightnings.
I'll put it next to my lightnings. It'll be like, look, there's Yale.
He's a pet size edition.
Pet size edition, yeah. We'll get there's a Forever Yellow Ranger card set. There is files for 3D printing your own Mighty Morphin Ranger miniatures.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. The backer names will be included inside the book. There is a promo card set called Escalation, which is going to be for villains. Forever Black Ranger cards. The logo is going to be Golden Boss. They're about to unlock the Solar Ranger promo card set, which will allow you to, so for example, you have Red Space Ranger, you swap his cards out for the Red Solar Ranger. That kind of idea. And then there's Pink Ranger, Forever Pink Ranger cards is the next goal. And then after that will be a Ranger variant promo card set, which includes things like Cosmic Fury, Mighty Morphin Blue, JJ Oliver SPD Green, and Grace Sterling Mighty Morphin Red, among others. Variant versions. Defender Fest Adam, for example. Just to kind of add to the game some more. So that's the box. So for I think it's a pretty good value. Now, if you are backing this and there's stuff you missed, you get a code when you back it that gets you 40% off any order you make on the Renegade store. So if you want to catch up on stuff you missed and you back it, you can get a pretty significant discount.
That's nice.
So pretty cool. There's no add-ons to it because sometimes in the past they do add-ons where it's like, oh, you could add on older expansions. They're like, no, 40% off. Go buy them from our store. So yeah, you got till February 27th. This is something you want. I backed it, like I said, so there'll be a video on it for sure. I will miss the game, but I don't play it on the regular, so I'm not going to miss it too much. But it is kind of sad.
How many was he? It came out 2019.
Yeah,
it was
6 years.
It was year one of the Hasbro the line. So it lasted.
And for a miniature-based tabletop board game to last 6 years is really impressive. Because there was a Star Wars one that only lasted 3.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Power Rangers, so many people love to joke and meme about it in terms of "haha, franchise is dead." Am I right? But I think some fans don't really estimate how long a lot of the other stuff are running. The comics are going. Battle of the Grid,
the comics hit 10 years next year.
Yeah, Battle of the Grid is done now, but that lasted more than some big AAA fight games. Hi, Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, it lasted longer than Mortal Kombat 1.
Multiverses. Yep. The mobile version, Legacy War, is still going. Here's the Grid. It's just no ending. And it's doing very well by the looks of it. So I think some of the fans
they're still doing the Power Rangers role playing game, and they still got the deck building games and stuff that they're doing stuff for. So it's
I think some people really.
I think just because there's not a TV show and a main toy line right now doesn't mean the franchise is off the books completely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's doing, honestly, as much as so many other people say, it's doing a lot better than other Wilderness Year franchises. Honestly, it's it's about the same as say Doctor Who when it was in its Wilderness Years, where there was still even there was no TV show, we were still
very
getting
similar to Star
media.
Trek. Star Trek Wilderness Years as well. Yeah, there's still media coming out. It's just not the main media.
Nothing would be bad as Digimon when it went on Wilderness Years.
We're still in it's so funny.
We're in a weird we're doing better but still not great area with Digimon right now.
Yeah, it's if you don't like a card game and web manga, you pretty much have nothing to enjoy. But
yeah,
at least there's still stuff coming out. It's not like when Frontier came
people
out, Crash and Burn, and there was nothing for a whole couple years, and then they rolled out a V.
Or DS Squad. Or DS Squad, the Cross Wars.
Yeah, no, there was. That's true, because between Frontier and Savers, there was X Evolution and V-Pet stuff.
And some video games.
and it went dead. And then they wouldn't even release any games they did make outside Japan. Like, it was just dead until
Yep.
Class Wars.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing with the card game. At least the card game, people are talking about it. That's the most important thing about keeping our franchise alive. And people are
They're
still
talking
talking about it.
Yep. All right, let's get into the news. Like I said, it's not a whole lot this week, so let's just start. First of all, the Red Ranger Isekai, because I refuse to call it by its English name, is getting an English, or should I say, has an English dub
It's out.
now. It's out.
Yeah, episode 1. Yeah, episode 1 just came out.
So episode 1 came out at the same time subbed episode 4
Nice.
comes out. So it's got a dub. Yeah, I think Master Ben said if anyone freezing. I think I had a little blurb in the internet. It's fine.
It's going. It's
Fine
definitely
for
the
me
stream. It's been going in and out, but nothing like shut like the stream is down or anything like
I think
that.
it was
but you
because of the
gotta drop
Kickstarter
frames.
page, because of the video integration and the scrolling.
Yeah,
But it's
I
close
checked
enough.
I checked the first episode dub out. It's really good. I'll
Who's
say
the Red Ranger? Who's dubbing him?
Oh,
he's
yeah.
a brand new he's a new
Oh, brand new? Oh, okay.
yeah, a lot of brand
Ethan
new
Condon.
actors. Yeah, he's a
Uh-huh.
brand. It's his second, at least according to behind the voice act. He might have done some extra voices, but like in terms of like main characters, it's his second role. He's actually not bad. I'll say a lot of the voices are a lot more deeper than I expect him to be.
Yeah, I saw a
that's
couple
not
clips and I
bad.
was like, oh.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Cause for any Spy X Family fans in the chat, Yidra is the same English dub voice actor as Yor. Yor.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, all the voices are good. There is an error though, because in the dubcast, they got Daniel Van Thomas, who was the voice of Zero in the William Winker Ultraman dubs, and now voicing Ray in the upcoming Okratron dubs for the Zero movies. He's listed as the voice of the Morpher, but I think Crunchyroll screwed up because it's Tensei Eda in the dub. So whoops.
Yep. Zeltrax said that because I saw he asked David Van Thomas. Or Blue Skied it. He asked David Thomas, and he said, so Danny Van Thomas is aware of it, and he said that they're going to work on fixing it.
Work on it. So hopefully, I first thought like, man, he does a really good impression. And then I realized, oh, wait, I realized, no, wait, that is just the Japanese voice. Oops.
You remember when the Tiger and Bunny dub for the first season, the English dub actor?
They got Jason Price to dub over the the good luck.
But he did such a good impression; it was like almost the same.
Yeah.
And then for Tiger and Bunny 2, they just used the Japanese audio. Like they didn't even have to redub it because it was just he did such a close job. They were like, okay, look, why did we pay you? Like almost in a way, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of Toma mentioned it. In episode 4, we get a teaser of Kisuna Silver, who in Japanese is voiced by Mao, who played Gokai Yellow. Gokai Yellow. It's like, man, this series already got have a female 6 ranger. What world is this?
I know, right? Anyways, good stuff. It's on Crunchyroll. All right, let's go to the Blu-ray news. All right, so remember how I was talking about Section 31 last week? It got announced for Blu-ray. Like the Blu-ray pre-order went up already for Section 31. Like I think it went up on Tuesday, the Tuesday after it came out on a Friday. And for some reason, there's no standard Blu-ray. There's just DVD, 4K, Blu-ray, and then 4K Steelbook and Blu-ray.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised because I don't know why Blu-ray is going out of the wayside now.
It's a lot of studios are just doing it, I think. But
Pacific Paramount. Pacific Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount in particular is just not doing single Blu-rays anymore.
I mean, the good thing is they're not charging the 4K more than Blu-ray because TF1 was the same price as a normal Blu-ray. So thank God.
In fact, let me go check what the prices on these. I ordered the Steelbook, by the way, for everyone wondering, because we talked about that last week when I talked about how I didn't enjoy the movie and was disappointed by it, and someone asked, "Are you still going to buy it?" And I said, "Yeah." Let's see. The 4K Steelbook is $35, and the
that's normal Steelbook price.
Yeah,
right?
and the regular 4K is $30.
Yeah, that's like normal Blu-ray price. Stores will low. Stores will lower that because I think that's list price. I'm assuming, right?
Yep, that's the list price. So, oh god, did it drop again? Oh my god,
did it?
Yeah,
it's slow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep, I've been dropping between 4,000 and 300 kilobytes.
Yep, that's OBS for you.
Gonna try something. Which could it be like? BRB. Okay, I'm gonna switch networks. Hello, everybody. Are we good now? I think we're good. Okay, it looks stable. I restarted my connection, so it's still streaming.
There
So,
we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
we're back.
I just didn't want it to be disconnected long enough where it would kill the stream.
It'll end the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy, because
Yep.
then YouTube does his whole thing.
Cool. I think we're good. All right. So yeah, Section 31's Blu-ray isn't too badly priced for its 4K, so we're pretty good there. I think. Like I told people last week, I'm gonna buy it even if I didn't enjoy it because it's still Star Trek. All
We're
right.
part of the problem.
Part of the problem. All right, so Arrow Video announced their April releases for US and UK. First up, we have The Long Kiss Goodnight on 4K coming out in US, Canada, and UK. That's directed by Shane, or what is it? Written by Shane Black, directed by Rennie Harlan. I don't know this movie. Gina Davis is in it. That's cool. All right, then we got V Cinema Essentials Bullets and Betrayal, which is funny because we know V Cinema from Kamen Rider a lot and Sentai, but Toei was doing V Cinemas for other things, not just their Toku franchises.
V Cinema is just a abbreviated version of like what video cinema.
Video cinema, yeah, they're direct to video live action
Yeah.
features, yeah. So there's 9 of them in this box set coming out in the US and UK as well.
Inspector Gadget 2 is my favorite V Cinema.
Yes. And then we've got FX and FX2 The Grand Illusion, which I don't know what these are either. That's going to be only UK, and A Fistful of Dollars in 4K Blu-ray. That's a famous Clint Eastwood movie. That's also only UK, and then there's a Blu-ray also UK, and a movie called Booger. Also only UK. So anyways, It's like half UK only, half UK and US and Canada, but yeah, there's some stuff. So that's Arrow. I was really pulling for news stories here. I picked the thing where I only knew one movie, and it's the one I can't buy. I would buy Fistful of Dollars on 4K if I can get it for a good price, and it's in all regions.
I don't know, the way you said it sounds like you're like a kid that can't buy rated M games or something like that.
I know. No, luckily I don't have those restrictions on me. I sometimes just don't want to buy rated M games. All right, Figuarts news. They announced the next Demon Slayer Figuart, which is Akaza. He is up for pre-order. He comes out in July. Retail released in all regions. Not excluded from the EU this time.
I'm gonna be glad because the problem with a lot of the shonen lines I noticed is a lack of villains. So it's nice to be getting one. Have you got to his appearance in the show and the anime yet? Wait, where are you?
I'm watching 7 episodes in. I haven't gotten any further since last time we talked about it because I stopped to binge Daredevil.
Okay,
and
that's
that consumed my life for a week.
Speaking of Demon Slayer, my partner just finished reading the manga.
Nice.
He loved it, so I'm glad to hear and such.
Yeah, this figure's articulation is crazy.
Like I'm good because his whole thing is like kicking, so I'm really glad they gave him a lot of hip articulation.
All right, and then there was one other piece of Figuarts news. I think this was like teased last week. I just was waiting for the full reveal. There is a new Kamen Rider build Rabbit Tank Hazard Form Heisei Generations Edition, only released in Japan and Asia.
You mean the Switch 2, right?
The Switch 2, yes. Switch 2. He's got the Taka gun, and he's got, the fire effect thing. So he comes with a bunch of stuff. I don't remember what's different from the previous release. I don't follow build that close.
That's all he needs.
He's got everything he needs. So, yeah. But that's only in Japan and Asia, just like the last build re-release. Okay, in the world of Super 7 Thundercats, there was a wave reveal on the Geek Dad live stream with the people that do the Toy Collector magazine. I forgot to switch my title card. Anyways. Oh, Spindash says the effect parts are new and the eyes are more vibrant to match the show. Cool. Also, welcome Fire Fury. Anyways, the next wave of Thundercats, which we just had one revealed, the next wave is going to be the Sky Cutter, which is Vultraman's vehicle, as well as an LJN colored Vultraman. So, they did say they're doing another vehicle, and I'm not too surprised because it's kind of a simpler vehicle to do because it's just a weird sky bike. Personally, probably not going to buy it. I don't like it
very random Joe vehicle vibes to me.
Yeah, I think the wings can fold down and become tires to make it a normal motorcycle as well. I'm not exactly
Oh,
sure.
so it's Comrade Knight's Advent Beast in Safari mode.
Basically, I do think it looks cool. I probably won't buy either because I'm not doing the LGN stuff, and I do not have room for more vehicles unless they're like the Mirage from Silverhawks, because that's like skipping the Thunder Tank.
That's a new comic, by the way. That came out recently.
Oh yes, the Silverhawks comic. The Silverhawks first issue was everything I wanted the first issue of Thundercats to be.
Good to hear.
It was exciting. It was new. It had a fresh take on the material. It introduced new characters. It brought in new mythology. It really, I thought, was great. And I also think it's a perfect entry point. If you've never like watched Silverhawks, you could just pick up that comic and you'd get all the info you needed from there. And I thought it was great. I was like, I think Thundercats took a few months to get rolling. Like, it took a few issues to get really interesting. But Silverhawks hit it out of the gate. And I was really happy to see that. So, recommend the Silverhawks comic for sure. All right, let's talk about McFarlane, because they did put up the pre-order for these figures, so we can take a look at the pictures.
Quick aside, just making sure. The comic Shockwave, that's a Voyager price figure, right?
He was 35. Yeah, he's a Voyager price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yep. All right. So for last week's McFarlane stuff that went up for pre-order, we have Icon, who is so the interesting part is
this was weird. Yeah, this was weird.
He was announced as a McFarlane Toys exclusive. Then he went up on GameStop, but then he was taken down, and they relaunched the pre-orders the next day on McFarlane Toys and GameStop. So,
wait, did they? Because I pre-ordered him on GameStop. Because
I went through GameStop as well, but apparently he did go up on McFarlane.
Okay, so they didn't like cancel the order or anything like that. Okay, good.
Yeah, no, they didn't mess around. They just pulled it down and put it back up at a different time.
Weird to see my story because I was at work when this was happening. So I was keeping track on my phone on the GameStop website on my Chrome app. Refresh the page and wait for the pre-orders to come out. Pre-orders went up. Click pre-order. Tried to pay with Apple Pay. Didn't work. I'm like, huh. And right, I wasn't the only one having that issue. I saw people had like apparently that it was working with desktop but not on mobile. So I had to download the GameStop app, which I had for years, and I was able to pay for that way. But that was a weird scenario there.
Yeah, I had to use the app as well. I couldn't use the browser. I couldn't use my desktop. Like, I had to use the app. I've had that issue with GameStop before. Does that happen to you too?
I was going to say, yes, literally. For some reason, only the app works. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
And I'm like, shouldn't it be better on the desktop? All right.
And I had to hit submit order 3 times. I've done that with every GameStop order recently. I had to hit it, and then it says, "Oh, your address isn't correct," and I click the address button again.
Oh, I hate that too. Yeah.
So weird.
I'm like, I know where I live.
Right? All right, so then the other figure we got retail release Tempest. He looks a little better here.
I think he looks fine. I think he's reusing some parts. I think he's reusing some parts from Calder. I think the page from Calder. Which isn't bad because it's similar-ish costume parts and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he came with more effects than just like water blast effects.
He doesn't even come with alternate hands.
Yeah.
The collector edition figures I've been enjoying more because I think the baseline figures are starting to lose.
I know
they're holding on to the price point, but it is starting to like there's.
I think it's one of the things similar to like some people's fear of the new Maxim stuff for Marvel. They're worried that like with this new Maxim line coming out, they're worried that like they're gonna neuter the $25 figures more and such. So, like, which is a concern because we're kind of seeing this now with McFarlane. So. But that's unless you're Batman, because Batman it's Batman.
And then we got Fleischer Superman, who was the hard one to get. I saw.
Really?
He sold out really quick at a lot of places. I got one though because I really wanted a Fleischer Superman. He does come with alternate hands, which is nice. He comes with fists and open hands. Thank goodness. Every time they give Superman a trigger finger hand, I'm like, why?
Why? You can't hold it. Like, he doesn't come with things he holds.
Exactly. Pretty nice cloth cape too, and then. We got Dark Flash, who... This is, again, another thing where we're talking about, like, the mainline figures getting neutered. He only comes with 2 lightning effects, whereas previous Flashes came with 4. Yeah, 2 for the arms, 2 for the legs. And he doesn't have running hands. He's a grip hand and a fist.
Why does he have a grip hand?
Why does he have a grip hand? Yeah. Yeah, so
is the Markway Omnibus out yet? Because I know
the first one is, the second one's coming out this month, and then the third one hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, because I am planning to get those because
Yeah.
those like big trades are just out of print. I think
Yep.
now.
Because I have
So-
I have the first 4 thick trades, but I'm thinking I need to switch to the omnibuses because I'm
My
never gonna
my
get
my
other
part
ones.
my partner had a bitch of a time trying to find he had the first volume for so long,
Mhm.
and then he got lucky find he had the second volume for so long, but he wants to read he wanted to read in order.
Yeah.
So it took us such a long time to have him find the first volume. So like hearing now, I'm like because I've been wanting to read Mark Waid's Flash for so
Mhm.
long, and I'm just gonna get the Omni then at this
Yeah.
point scenario.
I need to do that as well. I just need to I'd be like, because I have some things where I'm like, I don't want to repeat what I already have, and like in some cases it's like easier. So yeah. Anyways, let's go to Transformers. Got a couple quick little news pieces for Transformers. First of all, we got some in hand photos of Wasp from Mark Clonis, our one of our wonderful designers at Transformers. It's
Also, PSA, the Haslab the new Haslab is getting revealed Saturday.
Yep,
Yeah, so keep
believe
an
it's
eye out there
Saturday.
for folks. He looks great. I love the colors, the vibrant
Mhm.
greens and such. The bright neon green, the forest green on him looks so really good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Bumblebot kick.
And then we also got from In Demand Toys, our favorite leaker of Transformers, pictures of Deluxe Class Earthspark Terran hashtag, who looks to
Yay!
be. I think she's using the Takara version of the mold. I think.
So wait, was the Warrior hashtag canceled?
I think so.
Because
It
I
never
remember.
came out.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this redid it because
Because
I don't think that
the Warrior had the weird combination gimmick with the little clip system
on
and
the hood
on the hood, and then the Takara one took that and
didn't
got rid
have
of the
it.
clip system and made her a little bit more show accurate. And I think this is a reuse of that Takara one.
Hmm
So, but she looks good. I just want her to come out, and I'll buy her as soon
I
as I
hope
can.
I hope they repack Jawbreaker because I can never find Jawbreaker in stores.
Yeah, I think I had to. I'm glad I bought him on Amazon because I think at that point, I think it's with these at this point we're gonna have to just buy these online if we can. And then the other one is Soundwave, who is not a Cyberverse repaint.
Thank God.
So
I was
happy.
so worried. He looks good. I mean, he looks good so far.
Mm.
I would say, God, the new Earthsmart packaging sucks.
It's
It looks,
terrible.
it's horrible. I was walking around stores. I noticed like those
Also,
the
still no
air.
windows.
Wait, is it? Because I
There's
thought
no
that
window
is
on
it.
this. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's styled like the new modern packaging for
Yep.
the main line, but there's no window. Oh dear.
There's no window. Yeah.
But like I was walking around the stores and I noticed those like Energon combiner gimmick figures, which actually they're kind of
Mm.
fun. You know, they look kind of pooey.
Yeah.
They got new packaging and it's the same packaging style like this, and like oh god, it looks horrendous.
So bad.
It looks so like McDonald's-y or something like
Mm.
that. Also,
I definitely want both of these though, so hopefully
yeah.
I can purchase them.
You know, confession. I haven't even seen quote unquote season 3 yet.
I
Or
haven't either because the season 2 made me
season
so
2,
sad.
yes, season 2 left such a bad taste in my mouth.
It did. I don't want to watch. I'm probably gonna watch season 3 while I'm editing the Transformers rundowns because
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it eventually, but yeah, I
yeah,
think the taste of season, I love season 1 so much, but the taste of season
season 2
2
is so bad,
left such a bad taste.
Yeah.
The bad taste I didn't like because usually I go watch it like right when it came
Yeah.
out, but when I think season 3 came out like the day of something else coming out, like another show or a game, so
There
like
was
didn't
stuff
bother.
happening. I was like, every time I go to watch it, I'm like, but I could watch Yu Yu Hakusho instead.
Yeah,
I could
it's
watch
just,
Pokemon. I could watch Daredevil.
it's such a shame because every spark turned out so good, and season 1 was so good, and but oh yeah, 'cause I don't think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Cyber World or where that's gonna be.
I want to talk about it when we can see more of it than just the
Okay.
Toy Fair image because
All I will say is I really God hope those the packaging art is just packaging art only and not what they're gonna look in the show because oh crud, won't be awesome. Look bad.
Yep.
Oh yeah, speaking
Welcome,
of
Legendary Magic Turtle.
speaking of Hasbro,
Before we get to
wasn't
G.I.
there
Joe.
yeah wasn't there because might as well get this out of the way because it's sort of like I see a lot of people talking about it. What's going on with the gaming thing? Because I haven't got a full story
Hasbro's
on that.
stupid CEO, Chris Cox, is
Yeah.
talking about how they want to invest less in toy making and more in game making. Now, this doesn't mean that they're going to make less
Which is
toys.
which is like ironic because this is like right after reactivation
I
cancellation
know,
and
which
stuff like
apparently
that.
wasn't Hasbro's fault. Apparently that was
Yeah,
Splash
that's
Damage.
last time damage.
Apparently the idea is that they find more of a future in connecting with kids in games than in toys.
Ugh.
But a lot of people are taking this, I don't know how, and I blame Cybertron.com because they're kind of the ones that
Yeah.
started it. A lot of people took this as Hasbro's not making toys anymore, and they're going to outsource everything.
Canceling Transformers.
Which
I
is
think,
not
like,
anything that was said. It just said that they're looking to invest more in games and less in toy lines. I think what it is that, you know how we saw all these lines go from...
it's
we
very
had all
similar.
these lines, and then we've now pared down to Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Marvel, right?
It's very similar when like Power Rangers Power
Yeah.
Rangers Cold ended. It's the same reaction. I know this, but even worse, honestly. Because we're still getting stuff for Transformers. I
But
think
they did
it's,
also say we are getting less waves a year, which I am not opposed to because we've been flooded with toys for the last like 5 years.
yeah.
It's been exhausting.
To me, the 3 waves for a year and that
Perfect.
like chart good. Not only does it saves money, but honestly, I think the quality will improve.
Mhm.
Honestly, by not having because I think that's why
Quality over
United.
quantity, as I say.
I think that's why, because I feel like that's why United kind of very much peter out because
Mhm.
they blew all the budget on the first half, and then after that there wasn't really that much left on the second half. So
Yeah.
like, I think having a focused 3 waves a year is a good thing, honestly.
Mhm.
Um,
Kaiju 954 said, "Is there a CEO for a major corporation that's not stupid?" No. All right, G.I. Joe time.
like so out of nowhere, GI Joe's like, let's drop some of the coolest shit ever.
Yes,
With
G.I.
no fan,
Joe
with
decided
no
that
fan streams, no nothing. It just we're going like, here you go.
there's no fan stream, and G.I. Joe was just like, it's G.I. Joe Day, here's a bunch of reveals. It was so bizarre.
It's one of the most amazing reveals ever, honestly.
I know. They did say there's supposed to be a fan stream later this month, though. But yeah, they just like they dropped all this stuff. So first of all, we got the Awe Striker with crankcase, which has both vintage and normal configurations because classified because they added like this roll cage in the back and a third seat. But if you don't want that, it comes out. So that's amazing. This is like the vamp and clutch set that we got in 2024.
Look how the stuff he comes with. I love like the little oil cans and everything he
Yeah.
comes with.
Oil cans, missiles, like binoculars. He's got like a face mask, a neck scarf, a helmet like that looks like he would actually be in a vehicle with it, goggles. Great stuff. We're getting a new version of Breaker, and this is under the Mass Device. It's got the Mass Device logo, so it's like a cartoon colored Breaker as opposed to the classified Breaker with the Ram cycle we had before.
So, do you think is the Mass stuff like a subline? Will you say
I
like
think
the
so.
Tiger Force? Yeah, like the Tiger Force and all that
And
stuff.
I think they're gonna be cartoon inspired. And then like he comes with the yellow Mass Device like item, so I think eventually you'll build the Mass Device and then they'll put the elements into it. They've done that before, so
I like the bubblegum, the bubblegum head.
Bubblegum Head's pretty great, yeah. All right, then we got Cover Girl. This is a retro carded Cover Girl, which is more cartoon based than the previous one was like toy based.
I'm glad because this it's not 1-to-1, but this is sort of a look she has in Skybound right now. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get her.
And I would probably say that she's using wig tech because
Yeah. She
that
just
way
comes
you
with 2
can have
heads.
her with the 2 different expressions, with the 2 different hairstyles. I'll definitely get her.
Hello?
I'll put her on the shelf with the other Cover Girl.
I mean,
There's just
I'd
2
get
different
her.
women.
I
Oh,
like,
hey,
I
Jerry,
like
back?
I've been here.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
I like the sledgehammer she comes
Well, you gotta
with.
remember, I disassociate.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I like the
I-
Sledgehammer. That's a good addition. I'll just put her on the shelf alongside other Cover Girl. They can just both be Cover Girl. Like the 2
Doesn't say
Hawkeyes.
Yeah, there's nothing saying like 2 Joe members can't have the same code name.
Yeah.
that's true.
Darklon. Darklon is connected to the Destro storyline of stuff. He's a cool character.
So remember, this is Destro's cousin, right? This was
Yes.
this was at the end of because remember this end of Energon Universe Destro. This
Yep.
is the guy that got it's like time for you to join the family. Ah!
Yeah. They've synergized how the characters appearing in the comics are in the toy line like around the same time. It's really,
I
really
won't be
cool.
excited because this is I won't be excited. This is gonna be the design we'll see he'll use in Energon Universe
Mm-hmm.
and such like that. I love the great sword he comes
The
with.
great sword is amazing. I love when they lean into that stuff with the Destro family for sure. Corey Robertson said, I hope we can get a Cobra characters with matching blue skin. Yeah, that's kind of always been matching colors is hard between paints and plastics. Room Without a Window said this guy looks so cool in the most 80s, early 90s way. Yeah, definitely.
The older head, like, because that's a mask, but I'm assuming the other head is his, like what he looks like out underneath the mask. Like
I
he's
think
wearing a
so. It's
mask
kind of,
over his
I'm
mask.
not exactly sure where that's from because it looks new, but it may be inspired by something.
It
That's what
might
I
be
love about
Energon Universe.
classifiers. Sometimes they'll just be like, you know what would be cool if we just added this.
Might be Energon. Honestly, I won't be saying that's gonna be like some kind of Energon.
Yeah.
Because when I saw the figure, I assumed like the silver head is like the mask that Destro put on him,
Mhm.
the Destro mask, and the black mask you see on the figure is like the mask he put on his face so no one could see what he looks like scenario. Because I feel
Yeah,
like
that
he's
would
like
make sense.
ashamed of what happened to him scenario. That's my guess at least.
Kaiju 954 says, what is the order for the G.I. Joe Skybound comics? So it starts with Duke and Cobra Commander, which are two miniseries. You can read Duke first, then Cobra Commander, then Scarlet and Destro, and then the ongoing G.I. Joe comic. It's pretty straightforward.
That's pretty straightforward.
Yep. Room says the classified redesign are close to the original. He's kind of a mix. He's a mix of new and old.
I mean, like the classified designs are just modern
Yeah.
versions of the characters. They're
And
gonna
a
be
lot of
elements
ways, like when you
gold.
see like the retro carded ones are when they go straight vintage look.
Mhm.
That now they're doing that. All right, here's a 2-pack of divers, also for the Mass Device line, which do include the blue element.
Look at all the stuff they come with.
Yeah. Stacked, totally stacked. So a red Cobra diver and a yellow GI Joe diver. I believe these were in the original cartoon. They just were unnamed characters.
I do love Joe been doing the two races on
Yes,
the heads. That's like one of the best things they did. I wish all troop packs do that. Just
because it would give you
all
it
that
gives you more variety on the shelf for sure.
stuff.
And I like that a lot. And then we got a retro carded Falcon. They said Flint in the thing. That's not Flint, is it? No, that is Flint.
That's,
Duh.
yeah,
Sorry,
that's
I
it.
was like thinking it was Falcon. No, it's Flint because they use that torso for Falcon. We're getting a retro Flint, which I think actually does look better than the other one. It's definitely more vintage inspired. I think the face looks better because they've gotten better at
Mhm.
faces. So pretty cool. And then we got a Ninja 2-pack of Slice and Dice.
Who are these two? Because these two look like
Slice
the
and
raddest.
or dice.
Who are these
Yes.
two? Because these two are rad as hell. I
They're
love these
amazing.
two.
They were in Larry Hama used them in his comic. They're two
That's fun.
ninjas.
Accessories.
Yeah, they're two ninjas with a shit ton of accessories, and it's Slice and Dice, and they're just like these deadly mercenaries.
The blue one looks like Yoshimitsu, like a very
Yeah,
variant Yoshimitsu. Are these two any relation to the Rashikage or just other ninja clans or something
they're
like
other ninja clans. Yeah, they're not
that? Okay,
Arashikage.
yeah, I didn't see any Rashikage logos on them, so I figured.
Kaus, what did you say when we saw the Cobra Snow Serpent? How are we supposed to root for the good guys when the bad guys look this cool?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. Like this is like I see a lot of people in the
Yeah,
chat saying,
yeah.
I want this. I don't even collect GI Joe, but this set's amazing."
I mean, these
I
are just
feel like
good.
getting those is calling
These
them
are
Gozu and Mezu. Instead.
Yeah,
yeah, they're just good ninja dudes. Like cool.
yeah, and like they're God, all the hand options, all the
He's even
weapons,
got like a cloak, like
the cloak, and the straw hat.
and the hat.
Yeah,
You could do friggin' Mortal Kombat like
yeah.
stuff.
God, this is amazing. This is amazing. And then, not to be outdone, here's the Cobra snake armor.
Like I went, oh my god, they're releasing a giant 6-inch mech suit. I'm like, how can they do this?
I don't know
I
how
just
they
saw
can
it
do
now.
this. This is not a
That's sick.
Haslab, guys. This is just a product.
Like
No.
a full-on mech suit for 6-inch action figures.
You can't stop them from making robots. I mean, think about it.
It's true. It's true. If Hasbro's gonna make something, make robots.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part, okay? Here's the crazy part. The original Cobra mech suit toy was like a shelled piece. It was like shells that you'd put on top of a figure. So you'd put the shell armor over the legs, and you put the shell over on the arms, and then you put the shell on the torso, right? And so you'd enclose the figure. This can't do that because he's got hip movement and a tiny waist, which means a 6-inch figure fits in the torso.
Like it's got a pilot, like a pilot. Like, hold on,
It's like those
yeah,
little Gundam candy toy figures they did with the you could open the torso and the pilot sitting inside. It's not
or
like to
like those,
scale,
or
but
like or like Exoforce or something like that.
yeah, this is insane. I can't wait to see
I,
more of this.
I maybe want to know what the original toy looks like. I put in the stream chat for people to get context. The
Yes, let's
upgrade.
put that up there because, like, oh my god, this was when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, I have to get one because all right, so here's the original toy, and
Yeah,
the
he
way
was
this
so
one
dumb.
worked is that you would get your whatever figure, and you put the armor on the legs, and then you put two things around the torso.
He looks so Robbie the Robot. I kind of do love him.
I do as well. And then now you look at this guy, and it's just like Robbie the Robot grew up.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, it's insane. They're releasing a 6-inch, again, 6-inch battle armor. You know how big this gonna be?
It's like gonna be massive. Um,
Like,
I
it's gonna,
imagine it's gonna be Pulse exclusive just because of the
it has to
production
be.
cost. But like, guys, this is amazing. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see more. I want to know what the price is. I want to know how articulated it is. I want to know how figures fit inside of it because it's definitely got. You can see from this panel in the middle. There's like three
I
sections I
mean,
think that flip
I
open.
see. Corey Robinson mentioned, like, how come they haven't done like a Hulk Buster like this, where they could put an Iron Man figure inside and
Yeah,
stuff like that?
that'd be great. Now always smart on the budget. Those are the same fire effects from Torch. Who cares? You don't need to redo the fire effects. We don't need to
Yeah,
reinvent the wheel.
I'm saying a figure could fit inside because it looks like it could fit, like,
Yeah,
not like you're standing, but like, at least
I
in a
think sitting.
seated
I think it's gonna be
position.
sitting. Yeah, like
Yeah,
like God, it because it's got the lines. It's got the lines that imply like it opens up.
open up,
I see
like,
the
God,
hinges. I see a hinge near the crotch. I see each hinge
Yep.
near the shoulder. Like this thing's probably gonna just it's gonna like onion its way open and you can fit a figure inside.
I was just gonna say you could put a dude in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just funny because I seen so many one thing when when I was getting when I was like getting to Joe late last year, I was looking up like custom. I was like looking at some cool like custom made classified scale
Hmm.
Joe customs like of vehicles. I was curious, like, what I see some really cool customs of people like taking like a Barbie like van, make it to like a GI Joe like mobile command center thing. And I seen people take like like some like dollar store like mech
Yeah.
armor toys and customizing to be like Joe mech armor and stuff like that. Like, and to see like an actual real product, picture of classified product like that is like insane. And stuff
It
like that.
is. You know, it does remind me of a GI Joe product of the past that
Like a
wasn't.
Sigma, like a Sigma 6 era, something
Yes.
like that.
Let me see if I can find the picture of it. For GI Joe Sigma 6, which were 8-inch figures, they
Mm-hmm.
did. Where is it? Where is it? I want to find it. I don't remember what it was called. They did a mech armor for Sigma 6. Where here it is.
I
I
think I
found it. I
remember.
found it. I found
Yeah,
it.
I think I remember this one because this was like one of those like, please boy mom like kind of figure I remember seeing as a
Yeah.
kid going like I want this
Boom. So
scenario.
8-inch figure mech suit. It looks like the alien power loader. Um,
Yeah, I remember that
it
now.
was
Yeah.
huge and it was crazy, but it wasn't articulated that much
Hmm.
because you would
God,
raise the arm and then it'd make pew pew sounds.
God, you know what? You know what I want Classified to make? It's from Sigma 6.
Mm.
Remember Duke's like power armor, like anime
Yeah.
as power armor? I want that because that's like a key core memory for me as a
Mm.
kid. Seeing that in the show and the toy commercials, like that's like a childhood memory of GI Joe I have as a kid. Is that cool armor Duke had in that show?
Mm.
Cause like it's a like armor like full like Mega Man like Master Chief looking armor. I love that design so much with his big giant BFG gun.
I also would love to see because I really liked it. Was they had this it was a hover cycle. They did a couple color variations of it. It was a ninja hover cycle. It's a bike and then the one wheel would turn and one wheel would split
Oh
in
yeah.
half and then you'd have like a hover cycle. I would love to see that again. Um I like it. I like it. But yeah, this
the,
snake armor is amazing.
the vehicles at Sigma 6 are some of the coolest Geo vehicles honestly.
Mhm.
Like such like the main Geo one where like has the helicopter coming out of it.
Oh yeah.
So love that one.
All right, and then lastly, I don't know why this poor Televiper, I just nearly forgot about him. There's a retro Televiper if you didn't want to buy a
It's
ton of trouble bubbles, like you can just get your army
good,
of
good,
Televipers.
good army builder.
Back
He
to the
is kind
snake
of
armor. This thing isn't and going over snake armor is insane. It is also nutty that they're doing yet another like 4-wheel Joe vehicle that holds 3 figures just as a normal product in the Ostriker. Like, I'm just amazed they do that because, you know, if Marvel want a vehicle, it's like you get a motorcycle or you get a Haslab. Like, you can't get anything
So
in between.
like got like classify is such a line where it's like you don't like you keep undermessing it because you don't really see it that much, but every time they reveal something like, oh my god, this is like the coolest
Yep.
thing ever.
And it's so funny. It clowns on every other Hasbro line. Not to say that they're bad. I love Marvel Legends, but the posability I can get out of the wings on Raptor outdoes the posability on the
Better.
wings of any Marvel Legend.
Yeah, I know, right?
Better than
Like
Vulture, better than Captain America, better than Falcon, better than
hell,
Angel
hell,
even. Like,
hell, some of the possibility range, like some of the possibility range on like Duke is some better than like some Spideys,
yeah,
honestly.
it's bonkers. And I appreciate that Classified. AR says Classified has to be the most profitable line for them. It has been said that it is because they pay no licensing fees.
Yeah, that's
With
why they can do all the
Transformers,
crazy
part of the
stuff.
money goes to Chikara.
Marvel, Star Wars, Disney.
Yep. But with GI Joe, they keep all the money, so that's why they can invest more into it. Like, it can just go boom, we're investing more in this because they're going to make all the money at the end of the day. They don't have to share it with anyone. It's the one Hasbro property that can do that. Yeah. Anyways, you guys ready to update the Marvel tier list? I got a ton of stuff to add to the MC tier
Yep.
list this time. Okay, so I will be readjusting the top 10 after today because something has entered the top 10 in my brain. So we'll get to that. The MCU tier list is, we're just going to keep rolling this. I've been kind of enjoying just updating this on a regular. Yeah, that's it for news. Wasn't that's why we're doing
That's
2
how
tier
light.
lists.
That's how light it was.
Yep. So all right, we got to add Luke Cage season 2, Iron Fist season 2, Daredevil season 3, What If season 3, and that's it. So that's still enough. That's like a lot. What If season 3 gets a C.
Yeah.
Because it was actually, I'm just gonna put it down here. It's okay.
That Darcy and Howard, I rewatched that episode as a joke with my friends, and my god, that episode was.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre that I don't hate it, but I'm like, why did you make this?
I didn't hate it either. Yeah, I didn't hate it like on the rewatch.
See you
I
later,
didn't hate it
Zeltrax.
either. I
Yeah,
didn't hate it either, but I was like baffled. I was more baffled by it.
that episode of Darcy Lewis and Howard the Duck have a child is the most baffling episode.
Oh, I didn't even.
You didn't know about it, Cass?
Yes, Cass. Darcy Lewis and Howard the Duck have a child.
Don't question
I heard. No, yeah, I didn't watch it, but I saw the
the baby came from
promo.
and the baby's an egg. So don't question things.
The crazy part about the egg is I thought when people posted it online, that was like the punchline to the episode. Was that if they had a baby, and then like the episode ends. But no, that's the
Nope.
first scene. This is What If season 3, 94 Coon. Very bizarre. I liked several episodes. I didn't like others. That's why it's gonna sit and see. I think it's where it deserves to be. Yeah. Hey, Kaus, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
You watched
Which
season
one?
2, right?
I started season 2. I didn't finish season 2.
Okay. All right. So season 2.
I did finish season 1. Yeah.
Season 2 is going in B, and this is a.
It got better. Because when I started, I was like, no, I wasn't really feeling it.
Here's the thing about. Let me rank it. I kind of want to put it here around. I'll put it right above She-Hulk, right below Defenders. Here's the thing about Luke Cage season 2. That show has some of the best crime drama and acting I've seen in TV ever.
It's good because I feel like Luke Cage. Luke Cage.
Now here's the thing. It has some of the best crime drama and acting I've ever seen in a TV show. However, it is not about Luke Cage. Because Alfre Woodard as Mariah Dillard is so like captivating as a performance and as a character, the show revolves around her, and Luke Cage is a part of it. So the show is called Luke Cage. That's right, it's Stokes, Mariah Stokes. The show, like, Luke Cage is a part of it, but I gotta tell you that the fact that the season, I can pull out the iconic moments of the season, and they're all involving Mariah Stokes, not Luke Cage himself. He is not the main character.
Alfred Woodard's great, by the way. She's been great.
She's been great. She's amazing. She's I mean, she's already won her awards, but she is
Yeah, even
incredible,
before this, yeah.
and she
It's
makes
just
the show
more
better.
proof.
But it is so easy for the show to focus in on her that Luke is not even like a major player at times.
Which is a shame because, like, it's one of the
Now
things
this,
where
yeah, go ahead.
it's one of the things where, like, I always, it's good. It's always, great to have an actor and character highlight, but it's one of those, the biggest fault is you never want to make the other main character lesser for
Yeah.
that. Like, you always need to find a balance because I feel like you focus on one or the other. Go like, oh, you watch the show, you can call Luke Cage, for example, like that, because
That's why it's in B, because I think that as a TV show, it's fantastic. But as a Luke Cage season 2, it's got a problem in that Luke Cage is not your focal character, right?
Especially because I'm a Luke Cage fan, and especially I love the actor for Luke in
Yeah.
because I didn't see all Luke Cage, but I did saw like the first couple episodes. His actor is fantastic.
He's
as the character.
great.
He really captures the character so well.
Mhm.
Uh,
The thing is, he's great, but when he's in scenes with Alfre Woodard, the camera's gonna focus on the star because it's Alfre
Yeah.
Woodard. She's so good. And so the thing I think that it did have a great crossover episode with Iron Fist that I think was like the best appearance of Iron Fist in any of these shows.
you need to do the Heroes for Hire.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of made me sit there going, I wish that instead of doing a season 2 of each of these shows, it would have been a combined Heroes
yeah,
for Hire.
Heroes for
Hero-
Hire.
Hero
Yes,
Hire,
that's what I
yeah.
wanted. That's what I wanted from the start.
And then you could have had like Davros from Iron Fist as the villain, and then Mariah Stokes, and they could have like teamed up, and that would have been like your show. And I think it would have worked. I think it would have worked in a really successful way to focus on the characters, because the one episode where Luke Cage got the primary focus was the crossover with Iron Fist. The thing with Luke's story arc in season 2 is that it's all about like how he has anger and he can't control his anger, and it's like destroying like who he is, and ultimately like how does he save Harlem from all these people trying to take it over, and that's his arc. But it can be summed up in like a couple paragraphs because they don't focus on it that much, because there is Luke's story, which is that you have Misty Knight dealing with the loss of her arm after Defenders, which takes up a lot of the screen time, which is great because Misty Knight is fantastic. Then you also have of course Mariah Stokes, her storyline. She gets like a daughter. She has like a whole backstory thing that ties into the lead villain of the season, which is Bushmaster, and he's got a whole big thing, and he's got a lot of interesting stuff going on. And then you also have like everybody that's in Mariah's organization that's like, oh, she's going too far, we got to go against her, and then we need to involve this, and then you end up so like it's so much going on that I think if the show was called like the crime drama of Harlem, it would be like an S tier thing. But because it is called Luke Cage, and Luke Cage is the least focused on character, I had to put it in B, even though the quality of the show is great. It's got the problem of the title character is the one that gets the least amount of focus, which is a shame because I think he's great, and I think more focus would have been really really good to see. So that's where I rank Luke Cage season 2. All right, Iron Fist season 2. Guys,
I saw this one.
I gotta tell you something crazy about this season.
Yeah.
Ryan, do you know what the common complaint about the Marvel Netflix shows is that even I've said?
They're too
long.
Yeah,
The pacing is slow and they're too long. Iron Fist season 2. Iron Fist season 2 is by far the best paced season of all the Netflix Marvel shows, because it's only 10 episodes instead of 13. That being said, I'm only going to put it in B.
Is it an improvement?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I thought so.
100% improvement. It's 100% an improvement over season 1, right, Jerry? Like season 1's boring.
Yeah, kind of.
Season 2 is much better. They actually do action sequences. They actually do martial arts stuff. They go into the Iron Fist more than the corporate boardroom drama. And I think that like Danny and Colleen's relationship developments are great, and I like a lot of what happens. I do think Davros is an incredibly annoying villain, and I feel bad for that actor because he was also an incredibly annoying version of the match. Am I saying Davros and I mean Davos?
Yeah, that was like a Doctor Who villain.
Well, here's the thing. Davos is played by The Spy Master from Doctor Who. So my brain gets crossed and I start calling him Davros. Anyways, the point is that Davos is an annoying villain. I feel bad for this actor because as Davos and as the Master, he's both like he's doing a good performance, but the part he's written is so damn whiny, he gets annoying. And I can't believe I had to sit through it twice. But it was absolute improvement. Absolute improvement over season 1. But then the unfortunate part is that they teased a season 3, and the season 3 tease was way more interesting than what they did in season 2. So it was one of those teases where it made me go, why didn't we do that instead? So unfortunately, like it's still a low B, but it was definitely an improvement, and it was the best paced season. But it's still like I still came out wanting more from it, which I guess is a testament to the actors, because I think the actors really elevated material. But the writing is kind of the thing that I think the writing and the budget is what held back Iron Fist. I feel like it definitely they needed more money for sure.
I would say is I kind of hate the conspiracy theory of like, oh, because of how bad Netflix Iron Fist is, they're replacing Danny Rand with Asian blah blah blah. Like,
But they
no,
didn't, and like
I hate that conspiracy theory so much.
that conspiracy theory smells of racism.
Yeah, I know, right? And some people are like, "Oh, it's more racist to have the Asian be Iron Fist." Like, Iron Fist was never a racist thing. Like, are you denying that there's Asian like martial artists?
I think it's like the thing. What is the thing? That there was somebody who said it, and I agree with them. I agree with I think the thing is somebody said this on social media, and I agreed with it, which was that they said, "I want to have Danny Rand as Iron Fist. I understand the problematic nature of old white savior tropes in Asian storytelling, but it's not a bad thing because of the way that Iron Fist was done. It's just on the surface level, it looks like that, but that doesn't mean we should erase Danny Rand." And I don't
But
think they have erased Danny Rand
oh, yeah, that's
because
the thing. That's the thing. They haven't even. He wasn't
right.
killed. He wasn't killed. He wasn't. He's mentoring.
What it was once again, it comes back to the stupid show, What If Season 3, is people created, this is the thing that blows my mind about the internet. People will spend hours debating a made-up thing about a show, instead of just spending 20 minutes to watch the show. Okay? So the thing is, and this is what drives me, like, this is what drives me insane about the internet and like fandom discussions. What if season 3 had a shot where or had a thing where they had Kang's time travel chair and Captain Carter and friends were using it, and then somebody ran a tweet that said, "Oh, this confirms that Captain Carter's team killed all the Kang variants."
No, they didn't say
Which
that
they
once.
don't. They didn't say that at all. They didn't. Hey, welcome, Agent of Gen Z. Welcome to the live. But they didn't say anything about it at all. They didn't say how they got the chair. They just had the chair. And we know there's like a ton of Kang variants. It's not the only chair out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw people arguing and debating about it for like tweets after tweets after tweets. And I was like, did any of you go check the show? Did any of you go spend 20 minutes to watch the episode? And the same thing happened with Iron Fist.
No,
because
not even 20 minutes. Not even 20 minutes. It was in the first like few minutes of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the first few minutes of the episode.
The Iron Fist thing started because they had a Wild West themed episode that ended with a kid saying that, oh, he has an iron fist. That kid was in the 1800s. It's not replacing Danny Rand. That Iron Fist is a legacy throughout time.
I know, that's what I mean. That's what I was more baffled by, the fact that we got that overreaction.
Yeah.
From that one small scene. And you think that like people
and it didn't even confirm him as Iron Fist. It just was a cute nod.
Yeah, the fact like the fact that people got ups arms for that small bit, like I know, like, because they chose Lylin for Iron Fist and Rivals. No, hell, most people might think Iron Fist is Lylin because of Rivals.
And also the thing with Rivals is it's a game produced in Asia, marketed towards Asia.
Why didn't they chose Lylin, Iron Fist, and Luna Snow?
Exactly. Yeah, those are intentional choices. So there's nothing to say that they're not using Danny.
Hell, even using the Demon Days Psylocke also.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is too is that another thing here is that with Luke Cage, Luke Cage is in the same boat. And Jessica Jones is in the same boat, but you don't see people going like, "Oh, they're replacing Jessica Jones. They're replacing Luke Cage because of the shows." Like, no, they're also off the table at the moment, despite Daredevil coming back and stuff, because they haven't worked a way to work them back in yet. You know what I mean? It's just so bizarre. Like, yeah, Mr. Studio Waifu, all the people mad at that episode of the show are people that wouldn't have watched the show to begin with, and that's what frustrates me. Yeah, I see so much. It's so much like tourist criticism of things, and it's like people will see somebody talk about something and then make an opinion about it, and they'll spend more time making an opinion and discussion about it without actually just watching it. They spend less time actually watching it and understanding what's actually there. And I guess that's the long-form storytelling of why online fandom discussions suck these days. And
I
why
tell
I'm
you,
also committed to watching all these damn shows.
well, and I tell you, getting off of Twitter is the best thing
Muteki,
ever.
like Star Wars? Exactly. Most of the people complaining about The Acolyte watch The Acolyte through clips on Twitter. They didn't actually watch the show. Alright, anyways. Not gonna get on the Star Wars soapbox today. This is the Marvel one.
That's a different tier list.
That's a different tier list. Alright, so we gotta adjust something here. Somebody's getting kicked from the top 10. And I think it's Luke Cage season 1. He's bumping down to A. That's still a
Fair.
great season.
That's fair. Season, yeah, it's still a great season, but like, I was even surprised you went that because I love that. I like what I seen in it, but like, yeah,
I will tell you,
episode.
the reason I loved it is because not just Luke Cage, but also Misty Knight and Mariah Stokes and Cottonmouth, like all the characters. It was balanced. I felt like Luke Cage was still the central character. I feel like it slipped in season 2. I think season 2. I'll actually say this. I think season 2 of Luke Cage is a better show than season 1. It's just not a better Luke Cage show than season 1. And that's why season 1's an A and season 2's a B. Alright, so Daredevil season 3, guys. I watched most of it this past weekend. I started it last week. I watched most of it this past weekend. I'm putting it right here above Deadpool and Wolverine. Damn, that was amazing.
I didn't get to finish that one.
It's incredible. It has that slow start like all the Marvel Netflix shows do, but like it halfway point onward, it just picks up and starts running with it.
Is this season 1 or all of the?
This is season 3. Season 3.
Okay.
Because season 1 I put in S tier. Season 2 I also put in season 1 is an A tier. Season 2 I'm actually dropping to a B. And because like watching season 3 I realized season 2 was not as good as I thought it was. Like basically here's the thing. Season 2 was a lot about Elektra and Punisher, which was good. It was good. But it also lost like the core conflict of Matt Murdock versus Wilson Fisk. Season 3 brings that back. And it shows why they're continuing with Born Again using Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock as the focus points, because their conflict is the most interesting dynamic because of the two actors playing them. And so that the season 3 leans into that. It puts Matt Murdock through the ringer. It gives Karen and Foggy individual subplots that aren't related to like leaning on Matt Murdock the entire time. And then it culminates in a big climactic like fight between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk that is incredible. And they threw Bullseye in there. So S tier, it's number, what did I rank that? Number 5? What do you think, Gas? What do you think? What do you got?
I didn't finish it, so
you should finish
I
it.
saw season 1 and 2. Yeah.
I was thinking, but after season 2, I was like, okay, maybe season 3 is not as not going to be as good or whatnot. But season 3 was great. I understand all the people who've been screaming for a season 4 for the last 7 years. I get it now.
Mr. Steel wife asked, "Where's Winter Soldier?" Because he can't see because how tiny.
I think Winter Soldier's an A. Yeah, it's an A, just above Thor. Because I like that movie, but I do think it is overrated. I know it's my hot take. I'm like, yeah, Winter Soldier's overrated as I put it in A.
Bro, okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Yes.
Every time people be saying Winter Soldier's like the best, like, bro, the reason people say it's the best is because it's just the safest. It's the safest Marvel movie I've ever seen.
Well, maybe not. Well, of what you've seen, yeah. There's
I wouldn't call
Well,
it
no,
the
no, no.
safest.
No, I'm thinking like I think
Quantumania
it's
is the
like
safest Marvel movie I've ever seen.
No, I'm saying like it is the safest in that era. Like the first few
Yeah.
phases, it's so safe because like one
The
at
Dark
this point,
World.
Dark World.
Dark
is
World
the
is
most
risky,
boring.
actually. So this is the thing. Dark World's
It's
not
because
good,
it's boring.
but Dark World is boring, but it takes risks in a lot of its storytelling. Whereas Winter
Like-
Soldier is Winter Soldier, I will say this. Winter Soldier is got a good vibe to it, but it does run kind of traditional story points to spy thrillers. Like if you've seen enough spy thrillers, it doesn't hit as well.
I guess, but like I was thinking,
You know
like
what also it doesn't hit as well is because everyone knows Bucky's Winter Soldier. So the
well, I
reveal-
was thinking
And
more.
they put it in the trailer too. I think that
Well, I was thinking more of Shield actually being controlled by Hydra the whole time. I was like, I'm not sure how could that be safe.
that's the best. That's the best thing about it, right?
Yeah,
the
that's
Hydra
it.
twist is the best part of the movie.
That's that's a a big thing
Yeah.
when that film came out was essentially
It
that
disrupted
affects
an
Agents of
entire
Shield.
TV show.
Yeah, so like that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's why I can't say it's the safest because like to
Of
watch
that era, in terms of an overall movie, it plays things kind of safe because the way that because in phase 2 they were going more experimental with the storytelling structures.
I mean, what movie 2 to be fair also.
Yeah. Because this was the second Cap movie. And that's why I think Civil War is a little bit more interesting of a movie. And that's why it's ranked a little higher. Because I think that I think that in a lot of ways, I think that Winter Soldier's still a great movie. Like it's an A. I agree. But I will say I think Civil War was better because the emotional stakes were higher in Civil War. And I think it's the only problem I think that
we're the one
we're
the one that
splitting
says.
hairs.
We're the one that says a movie about people working against the government, saying the government doesn't have your best interest safe. I'm trying to think of if you're thinking the
Well,
comment in that
if
movie.
you watch Mission Impossible movies, that's
I
fair
think it's
game,
more. Yeah, I'm thinking of what's that? The big organization that that help our heroes in the first couple of movies is actually run by Nazis. I think that's what that's what I think of. Whereas I'm sure
I think also you know what also causes that twist not to be it's within the context of the MCU. It works great. As a Kamen Rider fan, I've seen that played out about 10 times in 10 years. But I think
not everyone's again.
yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is that that's when it comes to personal ranking, what I'm looking for as well, when I rank stuff is what can the MCU provide that other things can't? But I will also add, with the Winter Soldier, the twist of the Hydra thing, I don't think had as big of an effect on the movies as it did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Exactly
Because it got wrapped up quickly.
Alright,
It's not wrapped up real quick. It just got swept.
This is the issue.
If you watch,
This is the issue.
you watch the movies only, if you only watch the movies, the next time you go to deal with S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff is when they show up in Age of Ultron, right? And that there's that one helicarrier, and then we basically never hear from S.H.I.E.L.D. people again.
But that's the problem. It's like the MCU didn't want to do anything with S.H.I.E.L.D. They legitimately did not want to have anything
And I get it
to do
because
with
they had the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
TV
after setting them
show,
up.
right? But it is cleaned up a little. The thing is, there's for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it affected their next 3 seasons of television, right? And it had huge, wide-ranging ramifications, which included S.H.I.E.L.D. reforming. But then because of Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige's little their little beef, we don't get to see that reflected in the movies, right? We never know. If you watch the movies, you never know that S.H.I.E.L.D. got reformed, right?
Oh, it's one of those things that I think one of the biggest FUs too with the MCU is because they did have Sif in some episodes and other stuff. You never have this reveal of them finding out what Nick Fury did to Coulson, and I feel had people like Thor, Cap, Tony found out what Fury did, they'd be kind of pissed with him because the fact that he unwillingly realived a dude and made that guy have trauma. Come on.
And
which is also a funny thing too, because that was technically because Whedon was still working on the show at that point.
Yeah.
The fact that Whedon repeated his own thing from Buffy, great storytelling right there. No one even noticed it was him copying himself with Buffy. Like, that's the thing. Like, Whedon, horrible human
Yeah.
being, great writer.
That's
I'll
the
admit that.
unfortunate part, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, he's such a great
Mhm.
writer. Why is he also like suck as a human being? But yeah, no,
Exactly.
it's one of those things. But yeah, I'll still put Winter Soldier an A. It's a great movie. You
All
know,
right.
Oh, it is a great
All
movie.
right.
I
do think people calling it the best MCU movie is a little overblown, though. I think there are
It's
definitely
weird.
better
I don't
movies.
get. I always, when everyone says it's the greatest, I go, is it just the greatest because it's just okay, or
I
is it
think
the
it's
greatest
still
because it
good.
actually?
It's not that. I think you're overblowing
Like
it in a lot of ways.
I really like Cap 1 still.
I like
Something
Cap
about
1
Cap.
too, and people call that the worst MCU movie.
I
Really?
love that movie.
Yeah, people hate Captain America: First Avenger. I did not
Like,
realize how much people hated it until I was experiencing the internet, and I'm like, but I love that movie. What is?
Dude, okay, yeah, no,
Some people
Ryan.
say
People
Civil
hate
Wars.
that movie so bad that they're like, suck it up. You're never gonna get an MCU Cap Marvel Legends. Like, for some reason, people hate it. They're like, you should have bought it when it was in the Walmart line. I didn't even know it
That
existed
Walmart
then.
line was not fully
Yeah, me neither.
released.
Some people say Civil Wars the worst because it's something people say it's not a Captain America movie, but honestly, I think
It is.
It is. I know the big when people see the movie, they think, oh, it's Avengers 4.2.3, and they think of the Iron Man. But like, if you look at that to plot, it is a very much Captain America story.
Yeah, because as much as the
Still.
Sokovia Accords are like the kickoff point to put the rift between Cap and Iron Man, that movie is about Steve Rogers wanting to protect Bucky Barnes at any cost. And how far is he willing to go? Like, Captain America is the focal character of that movie. Iron Man is an antagonist in that movie. And it is all about, Steve trying to save Bucky.
The
And
thing about Captain America's thing is, the big thing about Captain America, he isn't supposed to represent America in terms of like, I'm America.
he
He's
doesn't
supposed to
represent
represent
the
America.
government.
Yeah, he represents what America should be, aka
Yeah.
freedom and all that stuff. Like that's what Bucky. That's that's the big thing about Cap. He'll very much go against the government if it does not if it goes against like treating people well.
Yeah.
So that
He represents the American people, not the American government.
AK wherever they have him and X-Men stuff is always a bit rough sometimes depending on the writer.
Oh my god, Captain America. Like,
Yeah.
anytime a Captain America shows up in an X-Men related thing, makes no sense. The only time it makes sense is when it's Bucky as Cap, because Bucky don't give a shit. He just
That's
is
true.
like, hey mutants, could you chill out for 5 seconds? Did you just use the M word? Yeah. How do I address you guys other than mutant or X-Men?
And the thing is too is like, it's funny because if Captain America and Wolverine stories is always like his best buddy.
Yes, that's what I love. I love how him and Logan are like, Logan, Steve, and then
They ironically do
they're going, we hate you so much right now.
they would do the Predator handshake, those two.
Oh,
Yes,
totally, yeah,
no,
every time.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things I love is that, like, even though people don't really love the Civil War comic, what I loved is that Logan just looked all the mutants in the eye and said, you want equal, you want to be seen as a part of their world, but now this shit's going down, and you're like, no, this doesn't have anything to do with us, woo-hoo-hoo. And Logan's just like, you're all stupid. Like, I love the fact Logan called out the X-Men for the hypocrites they were, because I've always known the X-Men were hypocrites because of how isolated their shit is. Like, everyone says, oh, the X-Men are great because they're always so isolated. That's their
Just 'cause
effing
they're
problem.
in Rochester in a mansion by themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I liked when they were like, fine, we're just gonna go make our own island in our own country. And everyone's like, fine, do that.
Blackjack.
And then it got destroyed.
And then it got destroyed.
learned their lesson
Inhumans
the
is
hard
down
way.
here in F tier for
Yeah, that's a lot of problems.
Where it should belong.
Soundout, we got to talk about the best part about Inhumans, how we almost blew the cover off of
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of
Because I
Madness.
asked a jet lagged Anson Mount, like, or I told a jet lagged Anson Mount I liked him as Black Bolt, and he was like, wait, what? Oh yeah, the show.
he was getting the shifty eyes there.
Yep, because he was jet lagged from flying.
I love how Soundout said to him,
convention.
What do you mean? The movie's not been out yet. Soundout, what did you say? Him.
What movie?
What did you hear?
What?
Like, Soundout's just
Yeah,
like,
the show.
And then literally Soundout goes, hey, Wheels, I think he's in the movie. Well, that lines up with all the leaks and spoilers, Soundout. Yeah. He also says he thanks you and your dad for appreciating his role in the show. I go, honestly, that's the only reason my dad was watching that show.
He's
and
the
he
best
forced me
part
to
of that
watch-
show. Everybody else is so.
Which is-
My dad,
which is also-
my
which-
dad
which is why-
forced
which-
me to watch Inhumans with him, and he didn't even like watching Agents of Shield. He was like, "I like this Black Bolt guy. He's cool."
Which is why I wasn't a big fan how they handled Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of how they handled anybody in Multiverse of Madness.
Yep.
No. They handled Reed Richards right because they cast the wrong guy.
They cast the wrong guy and then horrifically murdered him, which I appreciated. I was like, there you go. There's
mean,
your,
and then-
there's
and
your
then- and
dumb
then they go
fan
and they-
cast. We're out of the way now.
And then they go and they cast technically another wrong guy, but Pedro's gonna dig himself out of this ditch, maybe.
I think he's going to be great. I think the thing with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards is I was like, oh, that's a weird casting choice. And then he talked about like how his acting process is for memorizing lines, and he pulled up this like graph in a spiral notebook, and I was like, oh no, we're good. He's going to be Reed because he's already halfway there.
Richard Pascal as an actor, I thought was like not one no, but like he was a good actor, but like it was I didn't expect that much. Until actually until I finally saw Wild Robot and heard
Yeah.
him voice the Fox, I'm like, that's Pedro Pascal. Doesn't sound like anything like him.
Mm.
And like it goes like,
See you
oh,
later,
that
Mr.
should be like,
Tanuki.
then it showed me like, okay, no, I think no, Pedro Pascal is a good actor,
Yeah.
like really good actor because that's where
My
I
favorite.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I mean, he was the best part
of
of
Yeah,
Wonder
yeah,
Woman 84.
yeah.
I mean,
No,
obviously,
you
my
go,
favorite.
you go,
yeah.
Wheels.
My
That's true.
favorite. My favorite Pedro Pascal role is when he's knockoff David Boreanaz. One of my favorite. So this
Which-
was like the first time I ever saw him in something. Was a like indie B movie called Bloodsucking Bosses or Bastard Bloodsucking Bosses. Like there's
That's
there's
great.
like 3 different titles, right?
Yeah.
And what he is he literally they kind of made him look like David Boreanaz from Angel, but what if he was just what if he was Angelus like the entire time? So he's a business guy who runs a like giant like office building, and his whole thing is about turning people into vampires to continue the chain of this like actual business empire because they're run by vampires. And like it's a comedy, but he plays it pretty much like what if he was channeling like David Boreanaz as well as Future becoming Maxwell Lord, because like it's the funniest thing. I need you to see it stand out, especially because of the takeaway. Because there's literally a part that's literally Jerry where he's like, "Oh man, yo, you need to hear about how I knew about all these vampire things." He goes, "Yo, we're gonna go get the security guard. He's cool. He's mad chill." And then they go to the security guard, and the security guard starts telling his flashback story. And then it pans out, it was actually the buddy who's like a stoner, always forgetting shit. And it pans out, and the black guy was with him the entire time, the security guard, when all this shit was going down. Because all the stories he was saying was like,
Yeah.
"Oh man, it sounds like you were there when he." Oh yeah, no, I was in the car eating lunch with him. And then, like, the main character looks at him and goes, "And you couldn't have just said that from the get-go? I forgot." And, like, it made me think of Kaus, because Kaus would be, like, he'll be telling stories to people going, "Yeah, Wheels wasn't there." And I'm like, "Jerry, that was me." Oh, man, I thought that was
I
Alex.
do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I think it's time to switch over to the Star Trek tier list.
Oh, is that it?
That was
Oh,
the
that's
MCU.
easy.
I didn't have anything else. Star Trek tier list is
Oh.
easier. I didn't make this
It's
one.
easy. You
full
know why?
disclosure.
Just put Deep Space Nine on top. That's all.
Yeah.
No, we can't put Deep Space Nine on top, Jared.
So what
because
do
can't
we
give Metal the
have?
satisfaction.
Are
Has
we
to go
ranking
below
everything
Voyager.
Star Trek?
We're ranking everything Star Trek. I found this. Somebody else made
tuned you
this.
up.
I didn't make this. They put together all of the shows. Each show has one tile. They split up
So-
the card though between season 1.
I
and
mean,
season 2 and season
I mean,
3.
most of the shows are sadly over, so you can just rank them all.
That's why I was like, let's just do it today because I was like, I'm thinking I need to stop thinking about Section 31.
I mean, the only
Doesn't
show
matter,
that's
I've
still.
never seen this franchise.
I mean, what the only show that's still going is Strange New World, right?
Yep. Strange New World's the only active show because Starfleet Academy hasn't started yet.
So might as well do it
It
now.
never will.
Yeah. It will because they're filming it. Oh, they already filmed season 1. Sorry, they've already filmed it.
It has the guy from Big Fat Liar in it.
Yes, Paul Giamatti. Okay. 1, 2. Where's 3?
Yes, the Rhino.
Yep.
He did a
But-
good job as Rhino. I mean, he did.
What?
He really tried.
Like, the only thing he has going for him is that other political show from Showtime or whatever he did.
Yeah, I know. He also has Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
What?
yep.
He was
The
the
Dr.
best part
Burton
of
one?
Tim
Dr.
Burton's Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
I still love his interview where he said, my agent was like, "No, we don't want him to be a monkey," and he looked at his agent and said, "I want to be a goddamn monkey."
Yeah, he was like, I want the makeup. The agent was trying to save him from makeup. He was like, how dare you?
He's like, how dare you stop me from being in one of the most influential movies of Hollywood? Like remake, and everyone's just like, nah. Even though the one thing about Tim Burton was like, yo, I really like the book. What if we follow the book? And I was
But the
like,
problem,
okay,
but the problem with following the book is he didn't follow the book until the last scene.
yes, exactly.
Because
But I was so
I've
hyped.
almost finished reading the original book, and I'm like, man, I kind of wish somebody would have made this as a movie.
Like, I legit thought that like that I thought we were gonna get it just because of that ending. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, we are deadlocked for this sequel. Nope.
I think I think it costs too much. I think that was the issue.
Probably. I mean, I still want a real Planet of the Apes.
I feel like we could get to the novel like Planet of the Apes style. I feel like we could get to it
What are you saying?
with the current movies.
I was thinking that could easily be like an animated spin-off, like a more
Oh, that would be
like
great as an animated one, but no one would have the balls to actually want
Because
to.
I think
Oh.
doing an animated spinoff based on the original novel would be. I was thinking about when I was reading it. And I was like, man, this could be really great because the whole like not to go on a Planet of the Apes tangent on Star Trek.
We're
thing,
going.
but I'm
We're
doing it.
going.
The thing is
Star
that
Trek. Okay.
Planet of the Apes, due to its, I mean, they had a crossover comic, so it counts. Anyways,
Together, Ape strong.
so Planet of the Apes, the reason it has this kind of rustic, like aesthetic of like tree places and Ape City and stuff is because they didn't have the money back in 1968 to make what Planet of the Apes was in the novel. And in the novel, it is described as basically just normal Earth, but everything that is a human is instead a monkey. So they wear business suits, they drive cars, they have planes, they have cities. There's this really cool visual that instead of crosswalks, they have like bars that go over the road so that monkeys can just climb over the street instead of having to cross the street. But their whole society like operates like ours. It's just they're monkeys instead.
weirdly enough, I feel like a animated Planet 8 film done by Ralph Bakshi would work really well,
Whoa,
honestly.
Yeah.
whoa. Ryan, we
Yeah.
do not have that money and that funding. That man is almost dead.
I
We
know,
are
but
not
that
ever gonna
style
get
would
that.
be perfect though.
No, he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
The only
I
people
think that's the
crazy enough
problem
to
is
try
like
to get him.
adapting the original novel unless you do it as like a comic. It's going to be even as a comic, it's going to be expensive because of how intricate the story is and how intricate like the locations are and
Also, the only thing we got to really worry about with Ralph Bakshi doing it, because Ryan's onto something, when he wants
Yeah.
to put in real life footage in the background, which I like in his older movies. But if he tried that shit today, oh boy, is it gonna flop harder than all of his previous
not
work.
though because like they put live action footage into the Spider-Verse movies. It kind of worked. I don't know. Maybe people are ready for it. I don't know. Commodore 64. I did already do a viewing guide on Digimon. Probably won't do
What's
one on Beyblade because I haven't ever watched Beyblade. But
Well,
maybe I'll do a YouTube one.
what was the Mario fight like? Your kids are not ready for it yet.
Yes,
Like,
that was kind of I feel like with Ralph Bakshi, some of his stuff with like the live action footage.
Listen,
Yeah.
one of my favorite things of all time was, all right, I'm gonna bring this story up real fast and then we go back to Star Trek, all right?
Yeah.
Soundout. My
Cool.
favorite was me being the animation guy, sometimes knowing obscure shit and other stuff. And Soundout's like, I got it. I'm gonna stump Wheels. And he's like, yo, Wheels, I just found out about this R-rated X movie thing called Fritz the Cat. And he's like, you ever hear about it? And I'm just like looking at him, and he's like, oh, you already knew, didn't you? And I'm like, yeah, I already knew. He's like, how'd you know? And I'm like, bruh.
Obscure
Lord of the
animation
Rings.
from the 20th century is kind of Wheels' bag.
Like, I was like, dude made Lord of the Rings. Plus, it was on one of the things about pornography that I watched a while back, documentary. He's like, what do you mean by a while back? I was still in high school. Oh, so you still knew it before you knew me? Yes, I did. By sure hell I did.
All right, so for Star Trek, 94 Kid says, why did you watch a few episodes of Strange New Worlds? I've watched 20 episodes of Strange New Worlds. There's just not more than that at the moment. That's why it's only seen a few episodes because it's not finished. So I'm not going to rank it because
it's hard. It's really everything else is finished.
Yeah.
Kind of unfair to. It's kind of unfair to judge Strange New World compared to all the other shows.
Yeah, and like the last episode we got was a cliffhanger, so I don't even have a complete story to to rank. But let's start with the original series. Let's start with Star Trek: The Original Series, which gets an A. Because I think this is, it has for all the praise it gets, it deserves it. It is a little bit rough because they were still
Oh, yeah.
figuring out the
Yeah.
format.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the show, from what I've seen in the original series, it is a very good show, but it's definitely of the time
Yes.
kind of show.
Watching it now, you will be tripped up by 55-minute episodes. But
I was surprised how long it was
because they had less commercials back then.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, I guess they didn't have that many commercials.
Yeah, because you just have
I
like one
remember.
sponsor for a show and they'd run a couple ad breaks, but it wasn't like nowadays where a hour programming block is like a 40-minute episode. It was like closer to 50 minutes or an hour, depending on the commercial spots.
You remember about, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago, where me and my dad would just like sometimes sit at night and watch like 8 episodes of Star Trek.
Oh, like my mom and I did
TN
watch everything.
Yeah, like me and my dad would just be like rewatch. We would just be rewatching it. It wasn't even us going in chronological order. Sometimes it was just us just picking episodes.
Yeah.
We'd be watching TNG, Voyager, and then we actually went chronologically in Deep Space Nine because my dad didn't remember it, and neither did I. But we still have to finish the last season. My dad, I was like, "Yo, Dad, I've never really watched TOS the whole way through. I only seen like, the pretty much the viewer's choice, like the episodes you need to see to know Star
your
Trek,
City on
right?
Fredger Forever, your Arenas, your Balance of Terror, yeah.
And like I remember it was like 6 years ago or something. Me and Dad watch it, and my dad's like, "Yo, we're not doing like the whole binge format." I said, "Why you say that?" He's like, "They're longer episodes." I go, "What the fuck are you talking about? They're like an hour." It's like, "No, they're like 2 hours because of the commercial breaks they used to give like long. It was like it would
Oh
take
yeah,
2
when they
hours
would air them on TV, they would be extra long because they had to add more commercial breaks, but the show was still as long as it was.
But my dad already knew it was long because my dad's like, it's like watching The Virginian, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "They're like
because
shot
it's
like
a
90
space
minutes."
western.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Wagon wheels, wagon
train.
Yeah, Wagon Train actually was shot in a full half hour.
So are you telling me Star Trek is really a long episode of Oregon
That's how it was pitched.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was pitched as Wagon Train, but in the stars. Yeah.
I mean, I never seen or know anything about.
No, Jerry. keep ousting yourself, you filthy Trekkie nerd.
But yeah, no, Gene Roddenberry pitched it as like it's like a western in the stars, where it's like, most western shows at the time, it's like you have your main hero, your main cast, they go to a town, find a problem, solve a problem. They did that with Star Trek, right? They go to a planet, find a problem, solve a problem, leave.
So who dies from dysentery?
Right, Jerry, your favorite character, Welshie.
Who dies of dysentery? Anybody wearing a red shirt on an away mission that doesn't have a starring credit.
Yeah, no. When I watched it on Netflix, trying to watch like 2 or 3 episodes to get it done, I think I fell asleep on like a couple of like even the good ones. A lot of them are very they're very dialogue heavy because they didn't have the production.
Star Trek does really feel like one of those shows that you want to say that you're having trouble sleeping. The original series does feel like one of those shows that help you go to sleep. That's not an insult. No. But like it's one of those things where like it does feel like one of those shows.
Focused, yeah.
Yeah.
Muteki says. Muteki's in a super chat saying, "Is the Reading Rainbow episode on this tier list?" No. Neither is the carpool karaoke episode with the Discovery cast.
Listen,
remember the thing I showed you, Soundout?
Oh yeah.
It was
it's Galaxy
animated version of that one weird episode.
Yeah.
Is Galaxy Quest on here?
No. It's just
that is the greatest Star Trek movie.
That is the greatest. We don't even need to have a tier list for it. It just goes above everything.
Never surrender. Never surrender.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Never give up. Never surrender.
That movie was so inspirational. When Metal broke his hip or almost fell down the stairs, he used Narok to get back up.
It's true, he did.
I wish I was kidding.
That's great.
I wish I was kidding, but Metal
I was there for that.
Real bad. Yeah, and he was gone for 4 whole hours. We're like, where'd he go? And then Metal's like huffing and puffing, getting in his chair, going, guys, I seriously had to say Narok to power myself to get my fat ass up.
Yeah, he did. He did.
94 Kids said Reading Rainbow episode. Yeah, that was because LeVar Burton was doing Reading Rainbow and Star Trek TNG, and so they did like a episode that was on the sets of Star Trek, basically. I think.
Listen, my 3-year-old ass didn't realize that Geordie LaForge was the Reading Rainbow guy until at 3 years old. My brain was just like, what? Like that somehow the visor was like
the visor was enough for you to like. That's a different person.
Clark Kent glasses still work. Then
Clark Kent glasses always work.
As a 3-year-old, it worked. I was completely confused because like Like anywhere else, I could tell the difference between Clark Kent and Superman.
It's like
You
how my
put-
mom always forgets that Sonic's dad was Cyclops
Oh, it's James Marsden, yeah.
because a third of his face is covered.
I mean, I already knew it
yeah.
was him because he loves being with CGI animals.
It's true. Anyways, original series, still a great show. There's a lot of really groundbreaking episodes for television, and really pushed the envelope of what you could do at the time. And
Last episode is with Jesus.
that's a good one. I also
best
like
one.
the completely bizarre ones, like Shore Leave. God, Shore Leave's a drug trip. All right.
I also like the one with Michael and Sarah. Anytime Michael and
Fuck
Sarah is
yeah.
there, it's always great.
There's a reason they got him to play Mr. Freeze. All right, so Star Trek the Animated Series. I'm gonna put in B.
This
Oh,
is
geez.
like the
That's a
most.
hot
I've
take.
seen some
That's a hot
episodes of it.
take.
This
Yes.
show's bizarre, but I kind of like it because how bizarre it is.
It's the writing is incredible. Of course, it has the cast from the show, thanks to Leonard Nimoy strong arming the producers into doing so. Thank you, Leonard Nimoy. The animation is.
Okay. I need to know
It's horrible.
Explain that story to me because I don't think I know that one. I overlooked.
You didn't know about Leonard? Okay, so they wanted to do Star Trek the Animated Series, but they were only going to hire. They were going to hire William Shatner to play Kirk, Leonard Nimoy to play Spock, and DeForest Kelley to play Dr. McCoy. And then they were going to have James Doohan, who was playing Scotty, play all other male characters. And then they were going to have
Really?
Majel Barrett, who played Nurse Chaplin, was also Gene Roddenberry's wife. She was going to play all the female characters. And Leonard Nimoy said, I'm not going to do it if you don't at least get our season 1 cast, which included George Takei as Sulu and Nichelle Nichols as Uhura. And so he got them in because he said, I'm not going to do it unless you're going to get them in. Walter Koenig got stuck not playing Chekhov, and Chekhov's not in the show, but he got to write episodes instead. But that was how it happened. They still had all the other male voices, and all the other female voices were James Doohan and Majel Barrett.
Please, God, tell me Chekhov wrote Giant Spock skeleton dude.
I want to think. Let me go find out.
The
Please,
question
God.
about it's been so long since I seen it. Does it have that Scooby Doo like vibe with that like music and everything with the? No,
it
not
has
even that.
a ethereal like drug
Wee
trippy.
wee wee like
Yeah.
like wee 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 wee
Mhm.
music.
You want to talk about a show putting me to sleep? It actually. Oh my God! Walter Koenig did write the Infinite Vulcan with the giant.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh my God! I need to meet him one day, unless he's already dead. I forget. Did he?
He's
die
still
yet?
alive.
No, he's
I've met him. He's amazing. All right.
Okay, no. Next time you see him, you need to tell him. Me and my friend had a just clip this and show it to him.
I will. So the thing with the anime series, I have come to appreciate it more because Lower Decks references the show constantly, and it makes me
show like
appreciate
Lower
it more.
Decks to make it good.
All I can think of is Team NT 2012 with their parody of it in that show.
Oh yeah. The other thing too, there's
Question: was the slapping just for Team NT, or was that actually in the show?
they do a lot of slapping in the show actually.
Yeah, because like that's the thing I remember the most with the 2012 parody. The Team NT 2012 parody is the captain slapping the not Welshie in that
Yep.
show a lot.
Also the funny part with this, the show would reuse animation stills, but the way they would do it is they'd be like, yeah, you'll see it on the camera in a moment. You'd have one shot, next shot. It was like they were trying to add motion without actually animating things that weren't lips, so they would just move the frame around.
Yeah,
and it would make everything uncomfortable.
You ever realize though? I feel like the animated series is where a lot of the Shatney from, if I recall.
Yes, Shatner I think overperformed, and where the Shatney's like accent we got from, I think he overperformed in the animated series because he was doing voice work for the first time. Right, all the actors were doing voice work for the first time.
I feel like the animated series, as well as just a little bit of the movie, led us to having.
I think especially movie 5.
He says he doesn't do it, but like we've seen him do it.
We have the evidence. It's in the animated series. Also, I will say another reason my animated series is at B is because its 4th episode is in my top 10 favorite episodes of Star Trek ever, and it's the one where all the men of the Enterprise get incapacitated by these sirens on this planet, and they are like they're like only affect men, right? And like Uhura realizes it about like 10 minutes into the episode, and she's just like, all the men are useless. hey, Chapel, grab some phasers. We're taking control. And then they just, like, take over the ship, and they go down to, like, and find the sirens, and they just start, like, they just open fire and just take them all out, and they're like, fine, we're leaving, and they're gone. I love that episode so much. It's my absolute favorite of the show, and it's like, it's a top 10 for me. Because
How much looping backgrounds does the show have?
less looping backgrounds than the Planet of the Apes cartoon by Filmation. That's not saying there wasn't still a ton. There was still a ton, just not as much as Planet of the Apes.
I miss when Filmation used to be
Just
like
remember.
overly horny.
That show's hilarious.
Yes. All right, next up, what do we got? Okay, so Star Trek the Motion Picture. There's only one tile for this.
So I'm gonna say because there's multiple versions of this.
Yeah,
show,
there's-
right?
I'll just talk
There's
about
the version that puts you to sleep, the version that puts you to sleep, and the one that really puts you to sleep.
Well, there's the version that puts you to sleep. There's the version that puts you to sleep, and then there's the version that won't put you to sleep if you like cool visuals.
Because from what I
Still puts you to
understand,
sleep.
What's that?
from what I understand, by the way, for people who don't know, I have zero knowledge.
Yes.
Not zero. I barely see any Star Trek. I've been meaning to for a long
What?
time. A long time.
I think
Like,
Cal
we
has
just-
seen more
That
Star
means
Trek
you're
than you
more-
have.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
no,
Yeah.
totally, no,
qualified.
yeah, definitely. Star
Wait, am
Trek.
Yes,
I
you're
have
more
Star Trek
qualified
is
than Ryan.
Let me.
Star Trek
yeah.
is
Wild.
Yeah.
Star Trek is super like pop culture osmosis for me. Where like I watch a bunch of people who talk about Star Trek and I'm a fan of Star Trek, and that's where I mostly get my knowledge from. It's always a franchise I've been meaning to check out. It just
It's
time.
daunting.
A lot.
It's
It is.
daunting in time.
Boy, is-
It's like
yeah,
it's-
exactly. You need
Cal-
time.
Kaus, would you agree with me? It's Western One Piece.
Oh God.
I-
On steroids.
Because
Because I don't
Because
think One
even
Piece is even enough.
Yeah, because even if you watch just TNG, that's 176 hour-long episodes.
That's the thing, because that's the thing. It's the case where the episodes are hour long, and like that's okay. I need to find time. I need like time, like you find time
Yeah.
to watch it. But also, like I always keep telling people, me like,
if you watch one episode a day, you'll finish within 4 years.
yeah, it's one of the things where like people tell me, oh, like the TNG gets like much better after like two seasons, or like the first season are horrible, or something like that for TNG. I'm like, okay,
The first
like,
season of most Star Treks are the weakest.
yeah, that's the thing. Also, it's
Unless
the
you're
most
following.
howdy.
the most I've seen is Prodigy.
Yeah.
I should have finished that either. And such like that. And that's I know a lot of the characters. I know a lot of the terms and all that stuff because again, that's just the power of pop culture osmosis.
Yep.
And such like that. So like I know just that's my biggest knowledge of.
By all means,
Star Trek.
ask questions because it helps.
Oh yeah.
It helps us.
Yeah, but
break
yeah,
this. So
like from what I hear about like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, there is like some really good stuff in there, but it's just due to the production problems
Okay,
that caused the film to go.
The funniest thing about that movie, right?
let me give the short
is
version.
how-
The movie went over budget, ran out of money, and so the visual effects are unfinished on the theatrical version. It
Yeah, I
took
know about that.
until like a couple decades later where they did a director's cut where they actually put in all the missing scenes, filled in all the missing special effects, and then repaced the movie so it's not as slow. That being said, it's still very slow. It's just not as slow.
That's what I hear about. Like the story, the themes, the stories of Star Trek: The Motion Picture are pretty good, but just it's just the
It also
pacing
has
that-
this problem. If you've seen the original series, it repeats a plot from
Yeah,
the original series.
yeah.
Wheels, what were you going to
Okay.
say about the movie? Because I'm curious. What do
I
you
still
got?
find it funny how like you watch that movie and then like we get to what is it 4 and like the parents of Seventh Heaven are in both like the funniest thing to me.
Oh god, they are in. Yeah, the Seventh Heaven parents are in both of those.
Yeah, and if you don't recall Soundout, what's his face being in the first movie. You remember the infamous one where Olga was discussing about when he finally admitted and got himself checked in for the sexual assaults he allegedly committed. The infamous. Well, the pizza was great or whatever. I still love that to this day when Olga was telling the story to me about like how it went down, how allegedly it went down in his version of the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, the meatballs were all right, and so yeah. No, I made
94 Coon asked which plot. Okay, so there was a living computer known as Nomad that traveled the cosmos and then landed on the Enterprise and gave him trouble, and that was an original series episode. And the motion picture is essentially just a remake of that. But it also was a significant reunion, bringing together the cast again, which was, I think, the important stuff and the stuff that makes it good. I will say, I'm only going to rank the director's cut. I'm going to put it in an A. Because it's still slow, but damn, the director cut pretty.
The favorite part
Uh,
is how they just decide to play the TNG theme while just showing you the outside of the Enterprise
Well,
for like
it
5
wasn't the
full minutes.
TNG theme; it was the motion picture theme, and then they used it for
Hey,
TNG later.
hey,
oh, is this
hey,
like a
it's the
Transformers
But
Air
they
John
removed
theme?
they removed the bassoons and they removed the bassoons and the sousaphones, and then it's different, so it sounds different for TNG.
So
It's
is
the
this like
same.
I
is
know.
it like how Transformers Air John's theme song is just a reuse of the commercial, the evergreen commercial theme?
Yes.
Yes, the evergreen commercial theme from
Yep.
robot car robots.
Already,
Yes.
already, yeah. I might have to go now, but my last question of Star Trek
Yeah.
before I head off is so outside Prodigy, because Prodigy is probably going to be the first thing I'm going to really delve into. What is the best? What is the best first Star Trek to really like the if Prodigy is like because Prodigy
TNG.
is different. Is it? What would you recommend?
If you want to go in for the long run TNG, I'd say do Strange New Worlds, because Strange New Worlds is more modern and it does do the like Planet of the Week story type, which a lot
When you
of Star
say
Trek is.
when you say in the movie, which movie
Yes.
will you say is
Okay.
a real
Okay.
good?
Just go watch 4. Go watch 4. Come back and
Is that the
say,
one with
"Well,
Dolphin?
that was
No,
That's
don't watch 4. Watch 2.
Fine.
no, two, yeah,
Fine.
Rabbit
2, 3,
Spock.
and 4 are a trilogy.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
4 is the dolphin one, right?
Yes.
That's
Now,
the
if you
whale,
don't want to
that's the
watch
whale.
3 movies, watch 6. No, I'm sorry. That's my undiscovered country is.
Wait.
But-
So, are you saying watch Star Trek 6 or watch 6 movies? I'm confused there.
You can watch
No,
all
no,
6,
watch,
but
do it all.
you can
Do
watch
both
Star.
of
Okay,
them.
here's the thing. My favorite movies of TOS are 2, 3, 4, and 6. Okay, so but you could start at 2 and do 2,
Yeah,
3, and 4 because those
yeah, 'cause-
are a trilogy. It's concise and it ends on like the whale movie, which is fun.
yeah, because I do know about the two director did never see anything about Star Trek, but
Yeah.
he did watch like a couple episodes. So that
He
is a
watched the
good like
entire original series before doing that movie.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that is a good that is a good starting point movie because it helps that I imagine the director, since he didn't know anything about Star Trek, he probably made the film
Accessible.
for any accessible. So
They
yeah,
give
that's
you all
actually
the info you need and even violate canon to do it. So
Boy, howdy.
uh,
there's a continuity
okay.
error. Basically, Khan, because Khan was in the original series, and so it's like it's a return to the villain.
Yeah,
And
from
Khan
what I
is
hear,
like, I
Khan-
remember you, Chekhov, and Chekhov was not on the ship.
Chekhov's
at that
not
time.
even there. Chekhov's not
And
even
Walter
there yet.
Koenig noticed this, but he was like, I was nearly not in the animated series. I don't think I should complain. They might kick me out of this movie.
I think after I finish Project, I probably would go to the
The trilogy
what do you
of
call
movies.
the
The Genesis
trilogy of
trilogy.
movies.
Yeah.
That's what's called the Genesis trilogy.
Yep. Genesis trilogy. So it's 2,
Hey.
3, and 4. I think
It's
it's a great way to get into it. I think.
Yeah, because I heard that name, but I never don't know which films they
Also,
were
it's
talking about.
probably Christopher Lloyd's like most badass role. Like I've never seen him play a badass in anything else really outside of that one.
Oh no, Judge Doom is menacing.
Oh.
Men-
Oh, Judge Doom's menacing, but Commander Kruge of the
No,
Klingon
no.
Empire.
Put him in Space Alien blackface, and dude's a legend.
oh dear. But yeah,
What?
yeah.
That's what Klingons are.
I know,
Klingons
yeah,
are
yeah. That's a
Space
whole
Alien.
conversation for a different day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So I'm going to head off now.
All
All the slides are on your Dropbox.
Thank
so
you.
letting you know. Oh, they're not.
Appreciate that.
So if you want to follow me at Dark Horse Secret Tree on YouTube and Blue Sky. The art commissions like the ones you see this very channel. You want any? Feel free to DM me there, Blue Sky, or Silence Disco Protocol. Link in the description below. Anyways, have a nice night, everybody.
See you, Ryan. All right, Wrath of Khan's an S.
Ah,
really?
If you don't give it an S, he
I
may
mean,
come
don't give
for
me an
you.
S. I think I'm gonna get like massacred on
Yeah,
stream.
yeah.
Like Kaus is gonna tear me apart with his hands. Gonna jump through the computer screen.
I mean, I'd be obligated to.
It is one of the
I'm
most
very-
famous movies of all time at this point, right?
You know what? One thing. I know we're not there yet. But I'm really glad that the crappy Kelvin verse decided to give us an entire fight scene. Khan's actually using his genetic super strength, fighting
Yes.
another alien race with super strength. It was like the most batshit insane thing.
So
I
Psycho
ever
was
saw,
asked,
and I
what does Khan do? He looks interesting. So Khan is a genetically engineered, advanced augmented human from the 20th century who was put into a time capsule. And then he later was found, and his crew was found by the Enterprise. And after he tried to take over the Enterprise, they stranded him on a planet. And the Wrath of Khan is the story of how they basically were stranded on the wrong planet and that he wants revenge against Kirk and the Enterprise. And so it's
Oh, and
got
don't forget, because of the moving timeline, originally, in the original context, Khan was a warlord during the 90s and early
yes.
2000s.
Yes, he was. They've now shifted the timeline of the eugenics war to be the 2020s, I think.
Yeah, but originally, Khan, while we were all growing up, in the original timeline, Khan was ruling the world, and they had to, like, exile him into, like, cryostasis.
Yep. There's a whole event called the eugenics wars.
Yep,
and
oh, yeah.
it's
I
why
mean,
it's why
yes.
Starfleet outlaws genetically augmented humans.
And that's why one of the best characters is a bicurious
Augment
Ra's al Ghul.
by Curious Ra's al Ghul. That's a good way to describe Dr. Bashir. So, anyways, Wrath of Khan is.
I love that episode. I love that episode where they literally look at him and said, "Yo, use your augment abilities," and he just starts murdering everybody. And I was like, "Let's go!"
Yep. The augmented the storylines that introduce Wrath of Khan are great. It's a great emotional character piece as well.
When he had a relationship with Divatox.
Was that Bashir?
Yeah. Well. Remember, she was always trying to hit on him.
Oh yeah.
She was a hoe.
Yeah. Anyways, Search for Spock is a great follow-up to the events of Wrath of Khan. Christopher Lloyd is amazing as Commander Kruge. I will say, I like it a lot. It's only an A, because it's not as good as Wrath of Khan. And it's also not as good as Voyage Home. This is, like, Miteki mentioned the whole, like, oh, the even-numbered Star Treks are the better ones. That was a myth, because basically that's just what happened with the original movies. But Search for Spock is not a bad movie. It's good. It's a great movie. I do think that 2 and 4 are better. 4 is a fun time travel movie, and they have to save the whales. And I love the whales. And
3's also great because they killed my son.
Yes, there's a lot of great stuff in 3.
Oh
so
man, you reminded me of something by saying "Save the Whales."
Save the whales. What else?
You reminded me of an old Cheech and Chong joke.
Oh yeah, you know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where it started, and also because Star Trek 5 sucks. I hate that movie.
It's all right.
Wait, which
it's
one's
fine.
5?
Final
It's
Frontier, the one where
fine.
they go try to find God.
Come on.
Where does God need a starship?
Yep.
All right, he needs a starship.
What does God need with a starship?
Cthulhu needed a starship. Cthulhu needed a starship. What's
I
the
will
problem, Soundout?
I will tell you that the only reason I dislike Final Frontier is because it is pure Shatner ego on display. Because
Listen,
we had just
until-
let me say my point. We had just come off of 3 movies that involved the entire crew, and specifically 3 and 4 that were all about the crew uniting together, not just in duty but as friends. And then what does Final Frontier do? Kick 4 of them out to be mind controlled for most of the movie, so they could just only focus on Kirk, Spock, and McCoy.
Listen.
It bugs
Until
me.
I saw that movie, I never understood the Futurama joke of what he said.
Yeah.
And when I directed Star Trek 5, I got a great thing out of me because it was me.
I was just gonna mention Futurama.
Yeah.
I was like, wait. Did he actually direct 5, or is this? I thought it was just a joke.
He
build
wrote
off
and
of
directed
Leonard
5
Nimoy.
because he was mad that Leonard Nimoy got to write and direct 3.
Like, yes, exactly. No, but it was,
Yeah.
and I think he also worked on 4. I think Leonard Nimoy worked on 4.
Leonard
remember the
Nimoy
rest
worked
of
on,
the
did Leonard
Futurama
Nimoy
joke,
direct
though?
4, or did he just
Let me see.
Trek 4?
I think he
Oh, you're
worked
doing
on
it.
4.
I know he worked on it because he was like he didn't want to do Oh no, he directed it too. Yeah, he directed.
That's
Do you remember the whole joke of Futurama though that the first 6 movies are outlawed?
Yeah. I don't like Final Frontier.
Could you imagine them being
Crazy.
outlawed now? Just only those 6, not the rest. Just
It'd be
those
sad.
6.
I now know. I do know though, because we're getting into the TNG era. Me and Sound are probably gonna have a fist fight because me and Metal always get into a fist fight over TNG movies.
Star Trek 6 is an S.
Yeah.
It's a what is it? It's
I think it's a good A.
I'm gonna put it in S because every time I watch this movie, I see a new layer to it because it's really.
Do you know what?
It
know
really
what
gets
made
into the
what-
core thing of Star Trek of being like a reflection of our times, and it is a Cold War spy conspiracy movie.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why they banned the movie because it became a religion. It was getting too
Oh yeah,
powerful. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Futurama.
That's
Do
great.
you know why I like it? Why I would give this movie an S, and it's only because of the episode with Voyager, where you find out because Tim Russ was in the background, they retcon it that he's actually Tuvok.
Yes,
Like that's
they follow up this movie with a Voyager episode. Oh, I love that episode. I love this. I think Christopher Plummer was amazing as General Chang.
he was good.
He was
I like
really
Christopher
good.
Plummer in general.
And I love that dinner scene, where especially like, you've never experienced true Shakespeare until you hear it in the original Klingon. Like it's such an insightful line into how the Klingons think about themselves, right? They're like, oh, William Shakespeare, yeah, he got all that stuff from us.
Like one thing I love one thing I do also love too is just like how he's like one of the few Klingons that is also interested though in Earth culture versus
Yes.
all the other Klingons. Because he sees like the Earth, like you
He
said,
loves his
Shakespeare and all the
poetry. He
actual,
loves his wine. Like,
and he also like knows about a lot about like world history, like wars and stuff.
mhm.
I mean, also Six gave us the best weird in joke ever. Judge Lawyer Worf, the grandfather of
Yeah.
TNG Worf.
Yep. I love that too, because this movie was made after TNG had started, so they kind of brought some TNG connections in with Worf. There's one scene in this movie that is so funny, and it's funny because Nichelle Nichols did not like the scene. I get why, but it's so hilarious. Is that there's a scene where they're trying to send a message in Klingon, and it's like Uhura and a couple others with like books, and they're trying to go through like Klingon dictionaries, and they're like frantically flipping through pages. And Nichelle Nichols said she didn't like that scene because she was like, well, Uhura would know these languages by now. Like, they've been dealing with Klingons long enough, she would just know the language. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. It's also really funny though at the same time.
What
Yeah.
the best way I would write it off is they're using a specific dialect where she's like, "Oh shit, I don't know."
That's
the
kind
only
of
way I
like that's kind of my headcanon too. Is that it's a specific dialect, and she needs to refer to like the text version of it, right?
exactly.
There's all kinds of great stuff. I love that movie. When the 4Ks of the movies came out, I just jumped straight into watching 6 again because that was the one I wanted to watch first. I
I
really
think
do like it.
the best part I still love though about Six is like it is still the part where they're like, "Hey Sulu, can you get here?" And Sulu's literally like realizing shit's going down. He's like, "Get this all the way! I don't care if we tear this ship apart. We just
Yeah.
get." And like right when Christopher Plummer's like, "Oh, we're gonna win," all of a sudden they literally Star Trek rips off Battlestar Galactica, and they're like, sir." Another actual whatever Enterprise class just showed up, and it's the Excelsior, and he's like, "Oh shit."
Sulu was like, "My friends are in trouble. Hit it."
But the funniest part
Yeah.
though is how that was. I
Grand
do
Theft
feel
Auto
like they
San
legit.
Andreas.
I still
Mhm.
feel like they legit stole that from Battlestar Galactica because when you watch one of the most prominent episodes of the original Battlestar Galactica, is the one where they find out one of the other main Federation ships
Mhm.
still existed. It's piloted by Lloyd Bridges, and like the enemy doesn't know that it's there, but the main ship of Galactica, the Galactica knows that their sister ship is there. So like they're like, all right, the Galactica's gonna go down. We need to make ourselves known to the enemy, and like
Yeah.
they're
Sounds
about to
like
do
a
the
cool-
killing blow on the Galactica, and one of the stupid Cylons, because they're all stupid robots, goes, "Sir, what about the other Galactica?" And the guy's like, "What do you mean the other?" And they're like, "Oh Jesus!"
Oh man,
And like
you reminded me
literally
of something, Wheels,
loses his
by
mind.
mentioning Galactica. Whenever we were in Skype calls, we used to. Do you remember, like, whenever we had bad issues, we'd always say you were Cyloning?
Yes, because it would
Mm.
sound like the old Cylon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. TNG. S. I mean, they're
Wait, which one?
the Next Generation,
The original.
the series.
Oh,
To me,
sorry.
it's an
I
A,
thought
but
I just went. I just
only
went right
because
to the-
of the reason why I like Deep Space Nine War, which is the one guy who takes L's all day.
You know
TNG.
what? Yeah, we're gonna downgrade it to A for Jobber Worf, right?
Yeah,
Because I think
that's the only thing stopping it from S for me.
you know what? I also here let's analyze this more. I think Jobber Worf, right? They always they'd always have Worf lose fights to make villains look stronger, right? Which is dumb.
It's like just like Yamcha and Vegeta and Dragon Ball.
Yep. You know what's another thing? The whole like early part of the show when Gene Roddenberry is like, no one can have interpersonal conflict on the ship. They're evolved beyond it, and the writers are like, how do we
You
write
stupid.
this?
The essence of drama is conflict.
Yes, I mean,
Also,
what was it like?
also-
Like McCoy Loki hated Spock the whole of TOS, right? Like he was always like getting into drama with them, right?
one of my favorite things I recently like
Hey,
rediscovered
Sentai Ranger Donnie. Yeah.
was when Jonathan Frakes said that like him Michael Dorn didn't like the whole like they were cool, but like Michael Dorn and him were like, why is why is Worf trying to hit on Troy? Why is like they were both like, wasn't the whole storyline that they were gonna get back together? Like I love how they were both
Yeah.
like, this is weird. Like I
They're
love
like,
how
isn't
like, they
Riker
were,
and Troy the like OTP of this show? Why is Worf involved?
yeah, no, that was the
I always
funniest
took that
shit, like,
storyline as like Deanna going, "Hey Riker, you're too slow. I'm gonna go trade up.
mhm.
I'm gonna go hang out with this Klingon. How you feel?" But no,
That
like
was really her just trying to piss him off. That was her pissing him off.
yeah, I think with this, like TNG's great. It does for me. I think season 3 is where it picks up.
I no, actually mid season 2.
Mid season 2, it's
Like
when
Gene's
Roddenberry's
practically
health
out.
declines and he steps away from the writer's room, right? The show improves. And it really works itself. Mid season 2, for sure.
Because if I recall, like late season 2, when Gates got fired and the sexual misconduct shit happened.
Right, because season 2, yeah, you didn't have Dr. Crusher for that season.
Yeah, because
yeah,
the thing is, with Wesley still being on the ship without his mom, they start writing him more competently.
that's true. Yeah. Also, they introduced the Borg in season 2, and I think that which is great.
Okay, which season though was the crap Borg that we almost got that was like really actually effed up and body horror? Was that still season 1?
I think it was season 1, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, I
still
think
wish
that
we would have seen what was going to go on.
I
With
think it gets
that
good
storyline.
I think it gets good middle season 2, and then it hits its stride in season 3. Like from season 3 onward, just it's more hits than misses at that point, right? Aside from Jabber Wharf.
Also, they like
No,
they
season
cleaned
3's
up
pretty
the
good though.
Mm. I mean, best of both worlds, unification.
I still love the episode
yeah.
where Data, where even though Data doesn't have what is it
emotion chip,
it's like that one though where like just the sense of the fear of the Borg in his own processor made him murder the Borg and he wanted to figure out why he was doing it, and it was because like his chips were already like his processor realized it was a threat, so it was just like kill.
Yeah, no, great stuff. Now let's get into the TNG movies. Star Trek Generations gets a B. It's good. It's just not amazing.
What's his face is the best part of the film.
That one.
That's the Kirk crossover. That's where that's where
I can't think of his name right now, and I always
Malcolm McDowell.
I'm always I'm usually the guy who always says his name first. But Malcolm McDowell is like the best part of that movie.
He's pretty great. I think
also the second best part is Finer's oh shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's doing Data emotion chip stuff. The thing about that movie that bugs me is because of the rush production timeline, the new uniforms didn't work out and they started using DS9 uniforms. My brain just shuts off like when there's bridge scenes and everybody's got different uniform types mixing and matching because I'm just paying attention to that instead of the movie. That being said, I do think it's got a lot of good moments to it. You can tell it was produced in 6 months because it was. All right, Star Trek First Contact S.
Well, hey.
Speaking of Alfred Woodard.
Yeah. I've told this story before, but if you got new people in chat.
Yeah.
When I was in 4th grade and they finally got me glasses, realizing I needed glasses, the first thing I told you this already. The first thing I watched to test my glasses with joy was First Contact.
Heck yeah.
I was
it's like if a blind person got to see for the first time. It's like, what movie would you like to watch? Star Trek First Contact. And it's like, that's a good choice, right?
I'll raise the stakes of hilariousness.
Mm.
First Contact, what year was that?
96.
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much like up until like maybe 5 or 7, like
Ryan ain't here.
That's Jerry and Wheels, Sentai Raider Donnie. Anyways, back to 96.
Go ahead.
What was Little Wheels doing in 96?
Okay, so like when I was a kid, up until like maybe 5 or 8, I'd always like flip the hell out. I really did not like Star Trek. I like anytime my dad would try to put it on, I didn't really care for it. I somewhat humored Deep Space Nine because it came on after like Hercules Z, like Walker Texas Ranger. But like TNG, I thought was super ass boring. West I thought was super ass boring. But somehow every time I would see like just the I guess the level of the raise in production on on First Contact, I'd always be like really enamored with First Contact, and even my dad thought it was like really weird that like I think
it's like as a kid, I wasn't super into as a Star Trek as a kid. I became more of a fan of it when I was like a teenager because I think because we talk about it's dialogue heavy and stuff. It definitely
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think that's why little kid me, because
But
my dad
the
also.
movies appeal to me too, because like First Contact was like one of the first Star Trek things I really, really liked, and it's like why I was obsessed
Same.
with the Borg as a kid, and
Yeah, because
still
I'll
am.
tell you a funny story. The first time I
Oh
ever
wait, no, I
saw
saw all this stuff, but
first time I
Yeah.
ever saw First Contact was at the very end too, when Data just pretty much gives the Borg Queen the middle finger, and then his face gets melted off, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Then there's so I think the visuals, and it's
I
got
mean,
like a
why I
great
like
story of
Spanish.
like how you hold on to humanity and how do you process trauma and what does it take to do things. Like there's a lot of great themes to it.
I mean, don't forget my
Frakes
new
directed
favorite
the
line.
hell out of this. Like it's amazing.
And Soundout knows ever since I seen the movie, my favorite line is the line must be drawn here.
The line must be drawn here.
Especially when I get on my really. You guys will never see it on stream, but when I'm like super depressed and raging, I will throw that line out there when I'm getting fed up with my own bullshit.
Do you know what's my favorite line in the movie?
It's like you're all on some kind of Star Trek.
That one's pretty good. No, my favorite one is Alfred
Real
Woodard has this line where like Picard gets mad and he destroys like his display cabinet,
Oh yeah, you
and she's
destroyed
just
your little
like,
toy.
"Oh, you broke all your little ships." She was like, "Look, the child broke his toys." Yeah, no, just amazing movie. It has like great like canon connections and implications and stuff on top of being like a really
Like
solid movie.
when frickin' the EMH shows up, that's a great scene.
Animate shows up, seeing the history of like how the Vulcans came to Earth and First Contact was made. Like, it's so good.
Also, and Barclay.
Barclay,
Lady
yeah,
in
Barclay
there.
was there.
Oh, that was great.
So many good things. Really, really good
I also
stuff.
like when they decided to kill off Damien Dark.
Oh
almost
yeah,
thought
he
you were
got
gonna say Damien
assimilated.
Sandow. I was like, wait, what?
Poor Neil McDonough.
McDonough.
He got into
Hey,
Star
Neil
Trek.
McDonough.
Oh, and he's dead. All right, now on the
Playing
flip
a gay
side.
man and gets killed.
Now on the flip side, Star Trek Insurrection, I know is not many people's favorites.
It's actually pretty good.
I'm gonna put it in A.
Exactly.
When I was a kid, I didn't like
FU
this
metal.
movie. When I was a kid, I did not like Insurrection. Because I really liked First Contact. I did not like Insurrection. When I watched Insurrection again after watching TNG, I loved it because this is 100% a character piece. If you know the characters, if you don't know the characters, it doesn't hit the same. That's
I remember
the
watching
divide.
this without watching Deep Space Nine, and like I was like, oh, this shit's pretty great.
Yeah,
It's just showing like what they're doing. They're like, because like the one thing that I love
because it's basically
about
showing what the Enterprise crew is doing during the Dominion War.
exactly because they were like told you're not like for some effing reason during the Borg invasion during the beginning of First Contact and during the Dominion War. For some reason, the Federation was like, we don't want the Enterprise, our flagship.
We don't want our
anywhere
flagship
involved.
destroyed in battle. Is basically their concern, right?
They literally pulled the we don't want our brand on a Transformers movie line bullshit. They're like we don't want to see our Mazda getting blown up, boys.
Because like
Oh,
during
yeah,
the Borg
like that.
attack, they're
Yeah.
like, we do not want the Enterprise to get assimilated
I told
because
you.
it will look bad, right? But the Enterprise
you
goes
reminded
anyways.
me, yeah, Jerry, because I completely forgot.
And then during Insurrection, it's like we don't want the Enterprise in combat during the Dominion War because we want to keep the stability and like keep people's faith,
No,
and so they're
but-
yeah.
You know what's so freaking funny though is we know that between Picard and Riker, they're probably like two of the quick-witted
Yeah.
generals that never actually get to show off their general capabilities like at all in the series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, technically, when they fought the Borg during First Contact, though, technically, somehow he was still able to tap into Locutus, and he was like, hey, just do this. I don't know how he did that shit. Okay, listen, if they took all the implants out of him, how is he still connected? Explain that one to me.
I don't want to, and we'll just talk about how Nemesis is terrible and move on.
Explain it!
I don't have an explanation.
Okay, so I love this movie. Actually, I don't love this movie. I just
hate
love
this
Venom
movie.
in the movie. I hate it. I hate
So
it. The only
bad.
good part is Venom.
Yeah, Tom
remember-
Hardy's pretty good in it.
I remember. I'm glad I don't remember it.
I watched it in theaters and hated it, and I haven't even seen the show yet.
I'll give you a good one. Soundout. I remember watching it, liking the action scenes, but being completely like, "What the hell was that?"
My favorite
like
character,
Krusty the Clown?
my favorite TNG character as a
That's
kid was
scary.
Data. So this movie pissed me off.
I thought I thought that was the coolest thing. Like, I thought it was the coolest thing and the dumbest thing.
Yeah, and my biggest problem with the movie is because behind the scenes they came up with a storyline for Deanna Troi to have a thing happen to her mind that's similar to a thing starting with the R word.
We're not doing it.
They wanted to write that in, and Marina Sirtis stood her ground and said, "I'm not doing it." And they said, "We're just going to replace you then." And she got stuck doing it, and I do not like it. The storyline, even without the context of how they implemented it, horrible storyline. Why even do that? What was the point? Also, this director never watched any Star Trek, and unlike Nicholas Meyer, who did Wrath of Khan, where he went and watched Star Trek, this guy didn't do any research. And so when they went to the editing room, they cut out all the character scenes. Like, Data doesn't even get a funeral because it's all in the deleted scenes. Ridiculous. Hate this movie.
It was the most human.
Yes.
Check stream chat, Wheels. That's you.
How you doing?
Okay, I want to check stream chat too. I'm curious.
Exactly.
Yes, that's also me. When I was watching Nemesis as an adult after watching TNG, I was like, "What did I just watch?" DS9's an S. It's my favorite Star Trek show.
Yes. Yes.
Oh no, we gotta
you.
put it down. We gotta put
I
it
told
down
you.
because no, you gotta put it down because
No.
we can't give Metal the vindication.
No.
We can't give Metal the vindication.
It does. Metal has nothing.
Metal has nothing to do with this conversation. I love DS9.
We'll repurpose him as a fan of Nemesis. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I can't tell you a Star Trek show I like more than DS9. I like all the shows, but I really like DS9 more than any of them. I love serialized storytelling. I love, station stories and like people trying to work together and like intrigue and layered plots and morality plays, and I love all the characters, and Worf wasn't a jobber, and
He was.
Jeffrey
job.
Worf
Not
got
as much.
a job, but
Nowhere near as
Not
much.
as much.
Not as
Not
much.
as much,
You
but
have
he
to
still
fight.
gets a
They
job.
gave him a sword. It was cool. And Jeffrey Combs got to play like 6 characters. It was amazing. I love DS9.
I wish DS9 actually did more with the Dominion War because there's episodes where they're
I don't
doing
know, man. They spent
absolutely
3
nothing.
seasons on it.
So there'll be times where like it's like a filler ass episode and you're like,
Well, yeah.
yo, this war's going on and why you
Remember,
doing
the
nothing?
baseball game happened during the war.
Right.
But
Exactly.
But if you look into your history, there's the famous Christmas Day during World War II, where both sides stopped fighting to celebrate Christmas. There are wars that last a long period of time have downtime, right?
It happened.
And
Yeah.
so I think that was the way that DS9 could show it, because the Dominion War did last a long time. I also
think they dicked around with Kai Wynn because like I think it was just because of her availability. Because there's times where she's like there and then she's just gone.
Louise Fletcher was only available at certain times, so they only did stuff with her. See you later, MJ Klein.
I feel like there's certain episodes that build up to her crazy shit, and then it just stops, and it's like the momentum's gone.
But that was the thing I liked about the show. It had a ton of guest stars, and every time a guest star appeared, it built on their previous appearance. Right? Like, every guest star had an arc, basically. Which was cool. I love Voyager. I'm going to give Voyager an A.
Hey, you remind me something of Voyager, something Homer said. And he said it tearfully. He was like, "Oh, Janeway, your journey ended too soon. Too soon."
Too soon. 7 years is a good run, but I felt like they finally started hitting it real good in season 4. And I feel like, it's like one of those things where it's like, I wish it was as strong from the beginning. They also had a lot of mandates kind of holding them back because they were told they had to do standalone episodes. They couldn't do serialized storylines. They wanted to make the Year of Hell a whole year, not just 2 episodes.
I think that would have been
year.
great. I wouldn't have. Okay, the Year of Hell should have just been like a season and not a whole like 2 seasons like they wanted to do.
Yeah, I think a season would have been good. I think even half a season would have been good. Just like longer than just the 2 episodes.
Exactly, because the Year of Hell feels very rushed. It feels very rushed for a 2-parter. Like you could have even done a 3-parter and it wouldn't feel as bad.
But I gotta tell you, 7 of 9 is one of the best Star Trek characters ever created.
Because Soundout. Year of Hell is the one with what? Kurtwood Smith, right, as the bad guy with the time machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been longer. I love their time travel episodes. I love their episode with Sulu. That was great. I really do love the show. I don't like the Vidians though, because they creep me the hell out. Because
Which one were they?
they graft people's skin onto their body.
Oh yeah, yeah, those
Do
sick
not like
SOBs.
that.
Oh, Leatherhead. Oh, Leatherface.
Yeah, no, do not like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
You
but
know what? One
I like,
you know what I
and
really
you know, I think once it gets into like when it starts moving away from Kazons and starts doing things like the Hirogen, it like gets a lot better too.
okay. You know, it's another thing. I think the fandom. I'm glad nowadays more people are like us,
Mhm.
but the hate for Neelix is like ungodly awful.
Yes.
He's like not. He is not one of the worst characters ever. He's literally a guy that like is a like. Because the thing about Neelix that a lot of people overlook is he kind of like a snarf in space? Yes, but the thing is,
But I like
the reason he's so nice is because he's done dark shit and
Mhm.
he knows he was always a good man. But he because remember, we find out all this backstory about Neelix is like, oh, my entire race was like wiped out from what he thought. He thought he was one of the last of his kind. Then he meets Kess and he's like, I'm willing to do whatever the hell I need as a trader and a merchant and backstabber.
Mhm.
And then he meets these people and he's like, oh, I can back to being like an actual good person again.
It's like I
And then
can
he
be
just
a good person when I'm with this crew. Yeah.
yeah, and so like the fact that there's things where you see if you push his buttons, he turns on kill mode, and like that's the thing
Mhm.
I really
Well, that
respected
sounds
about him
familiar.
was that he was a guy that was just genuinely a bumbling happy dude that just had a lot of misfortune to him, and just getting on the not the Enterprise, the Voyager was the thing that allowed him to finally be himself again, unless you pissed him off.
Plus, he has the most heart wrenching episode in which he dies and comes back because they revive him, and he questions the existence of his entire religion and belief system.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Another
that
thing,
episode was
I
crazy.
kind of remember that one. Yeah.
Because he was
and
like,
another
but
thing,
in my culture, it's like when you die, you see everybody, and I didn't see anybody. There was no one there. It's like, oh my god, it's so haunting.
another
Yeah.
good episode with him that a lot of people well, not a good episode, is when they write him out of the show when it's ending, because
Mm.
originally he was committed. His entire thing was, I want to experience the Alpha Quadrant. I want to experience everything of your cultures. If I'm the last one of my kind, I just want to go and see what your world. He wanted to actually go on
Mm.
that was his plan. He's like, I'm going to become a part of Starfleet and be on a Star Trek. But then he finds out members of his race are still alive, and he decides to become like their new leader and champion, which
Yeah.
was like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, and God, I love that character arc. Also highlights Tom Paris is great. The doctor, the emergency medical hologram, great character, and of course, Captain Janeway is probably one of the best captains of all time.
One of my favorite characters.
She's the one that knows how to get stuff done.
one of my
Exactly.
favorite characters, even
Mm.
though a lot of his stuff is mumbo jumbo, phony baloney, still is Chakotay.
Chakotay, yeah,
One of my
I do like his character a lot. I like the whole cast really. I mean, Harry Kim gets stuck with the I'm stuck as an ensign thing, but I mean, I like the whole cast. Great show. All right, Enterprise.
Shit.
B. This is a show that
Harder than I thought you do.
this is a show that I like because I like the cast, I like the characters. It was a show that was wrecked by Star Trek had been on consecutively too long, and they were kind of burning at both ends. They had studio mandates, and then 9/11 kind of rocked them. And
I
it
don't think it was
has
just 9/11. I think it was just the drastic shift in tone.
the drastic
for
shift in
being a
tone was the
prequel.
first problem, and then 9/11 was where they came up with the whole Xindi arc. When the Xindi arc was all about like a commentary on 9/11, basically. I like the characters in the cast though enough to like keep it in B. I think a lot of the storylines can get a little weird, and it runs into a similar problem where like, yeah, UPN did mess them up, Muteki. Season 4 is the best season, I think, and I think that if it had been able to continue, if it had been able to start earlier with what they did in season 4, I think the show would have been really great. It just like the first season they were like, oh, it's the sexy new Star Trek. Look at the decon gel room, and it's like, this is gross. Why is everybody lathering each other up?
The only thing that was
Troopers,
sexy
that's
about
why.
it was whenever they had the Vulcan chick half naked.
Yeah,
like,
Port to
which was
Pole,
like,
like like she was like a really good character, but then they kept putting her in like, oh, she had to wear the the cat suit, and she had to do this, and she had to have the sexy stuff. And then by like season 3, they're like, well, now she's not doing that, but now she's only in a relationship, and her storylines all revolve around her relationship, and it's like, great character. I think every character and every cast member is great. I think it's just the writers' room kind of failed them in a lot of ways. So
I also I do really think what hurt that show also was like I said earlier, it's just that like it looked too fresh. I didn't like
Yeah.
how it looked so fresh.
it was, yeah, because it was supposed to be
For being a
100 years
prequel.
prior to the TOS, but it looked so new.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
It was too fresh.
yeah. It was that clash of the producers wanted to do one thing and the network wanted another thing, and the show got caught in the middle, right?
Like that would be like if we were to make like original Gundam again, and instead of doing like how Origin made it look like, we just took it and updated it to animation. That'd be like if we made original Gundam, then
Looked
just
like
make it look like
00.
original. Yeah, exactly, and everything like
Oh,
moved and
yeah.
like acted like 00, pretty much,
Mhm.
versus being like
Oh
just
man,
how Origin
Amuro
just
has
looks like.
Trans Am now. Jeez.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. It would be like that. Like if like we actually had like instead of them having like the tablets that they were still writing on with pens, it'd be like having like the digital scrolls and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like the digital monitors and projectors. Like it's
Star Trek 2009 gets a B.
Oh, J.J. Abrams.
J.J.
same
Abrams.
issues I have with the Kelvin verse, even though they explain that issue away.
I like a lot of what the movie does. I don't like other aspects. I think it's B, where it's like I still like it. It's still good. I'm gonna put Into Darkness into C because I think that movie's kind of terrible, but not like horrible,
So-
horrible. It's just not
Is that the one
great.
with RoboCop and Khan?
That's the one with RoboCop and Khan. Yeah,
Yeah, the only good part is Khan getting his ass beat by
Yep.
fucking Spock.
I'm putting Beyond in A because that's actually like I think that's the best one because that's actually a character story. The other two play a lot like action movies, whereas Beyond is a character story, and Star Trek is always best when it's character stories. So, damn, that's like 2 things in a row where I'm like, dang. it got what I was looking for right at the end and not earlier, right? Okay, Discovery. I have to average Discovery out because I didn't like season 1's first half like at all. I liked the second half better. I liked season 2, loved season 3, was okay on season 4, loved season 5. So I think that averages to an A. Is that how the law of averages works?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's an A. I like Discovery a lot. I did not like it when it
That's fine.
started, but I really learned to love it. I think their season 3 time skip was brilliant because I think that's when the show really was able to find its footing better. And season 4 was weaker, but that was also because it was rocked by COVID. That's understandable. But season 5 I loved. Like when the show ended, I was sad. Cal's like Homer saying like, Janeway, your journey's over too
Yeah,
soon.
it's fine. Yeah.
I was like that with Captain Burnham. I was like, Captain Burnham, your journey's just started. Why are you leaving already? I thought I really loved the ending. But I really like that show. Short tracks, that's going into B. I like some of these, and I don't like others. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But I think the law of averages says B because I liked the shorts with Pike and Spock and number 1 that were like the proto Strange New World shorts. I like those. I like those, and then I like the Discovery shorts where it was like, oh, here's like Saru's backstory. Here's one about like Harry Mudd, but then I didn't like other ones like the Weird Tribble one I didn't like, and the animated ones were kind of cool. Lower Decks is an S. I love Lower Decks.
Nah,
Okay.
don't
It's
say.
funny.
One thing about Lower Decks is I wish they weren't like the fandom and make O'Brien be catching them strays. Like he did nothing to deserve.
They built him
I
a
hate
statue.
but he still caught strays.
I
They
know.
were still freaking.
But
oh
to
my
be
God.
fair, everything in Star Trek caught a stray by this show.
I know, but that show would still go back to like the fandom's
Yeah.
punching bag of O'Brien. I was like, can we just stop the O'Brien punching bag?
They did it with love. That's the thing about Lower Decks. It punches at Star Trek, but it does it with love, right? It's never
Oh, yeah.
spiteful.
No,
And that's
it's
what
true.
makes it great.
But no, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not spiteful, but like
Yeah, I know
it's
what
one
you
of
mean.
those things where, as an O'Brien fan, I'm just like, can we stop this?
Yep. No, I love
We
Lower
get it.
Decks. I I got nothing bad to say about it. I mean, there's some, you know, there's some episodes that work better than others because it's a comedy. That's how it goes. But like, I just loved it. I miss it. I don't know why it had to end. I mean, it's like it can't be that expensive to produce. Like, it's a animated adult comedy. How expensive are those, right? Like, they keep Rick and Morty on the air all the time, right?
Exactly.
Where's my 10 seasons of Lower Decks?
And don't forget, they always forget Jerry O'Connell's on the cast.
Jerry O'Connell forgets that he's on the cast. That's for sure. He keeps showing up to events as Rebecca Romaine's husband, not as Jerry O'Connell, who's in Star Trek Lower Decks. Every Star Trek convention I've been to at this point, Rebecca Romaine is there, and Jerry O'Connell is just like passing by in the background, and it's like, dude, you are in Star Trek. You could also be a guest here. What do you?
I'm not gonna lie.
That's-
If I go to a convention with you and he's there and he doesn't even have a booth, I'm just gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hey, can you sign my Superman, Black Adam, or whichever Superman was he
That's
in
the
that one,
Superman?
or was it? That's the Superman."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, can you sign this?" I'll just be like, "Hey, can you sign this?"
You should tell him he's a second Jerry who doesn't know that he should be somewhere.
Yeah. But no,
And
it's
then
funny
I'll
because
say to him, "Hey, yo, I like Kangaroo Jack somewhat."
yeah. No, I saw him from a distance at Star Trek Vegas. He was greeting people in Rebecca's autograph line.
Of course he was.
He's like the husband of the talent, just going like, "Oh, thanks for standing in line." It's like, you're Jerry O'Connell, man. Like, it's
I don't know why, but
he's the
I'd
greatest
also
wife
say,
guy in Star Trek, right?
I don't know why. I think the other best thing I would say to him is, "You're my favorite Good Morning America host."
Ah, there you go. It's a good one. All right, so this tier list separated Picard season 1 and 2 from Picard season 3, which I think makes sense because they're like two different shows practically. Season 1
One's
and
just
2.
Season 3 is just, how should I
B.
say this? TNG, the true finale.
Yeah, it's the TNG had a perfect finale. We had 4 movies. The 4th movie ruined that finale, so now we needed a new finale. Right? So
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna put season 1 and 2 in B. I don't hate them as much as other people do, and I understand why people don't like them. But I like season 1. I thought season 1 was fascinating to have like a
Season
cast.
1 and 2 was, like, very coked out at times.
Yes, I thought season 1's like overall theme of like a ship of people who had all been rejected by Starfleet. Like, what are they like? You know, like people rejected by Starfleet, not just like people outside of Starfleet, but people that were in Starfleet that had something happen in Starfleet that got, you know, they got removed from Starfleet. What is that like? And then season 2 was kind of like your big poppy fun time travel thing that probably it just ran too long. Season 3 was good. I'm gonna put season 3 in A. Because I think season 3 was really good. I thought it was solid. I thought it was a good way to wrap up the TNG's cast stories because once again Nemesis kind of screwed the pooch on the ending. They still did good stuff with 7 of 9 and Rafi, which I appreciate because those are great characters, and I thought it was really well done. So I'm gonna put it in A. I don't want to put it in S because I have a couple like things I didn't like about it. What happened to Real Lauren? And Commander Shelby. But you know, I think I'll keep it in A. I think an A is a good spot. Prodigy goes in S. That show's amazing. It's like the perfect entry point for Star Trek because its cast doesn't know anything about Star Trek, so the audience can learn. And it's also secretly a Voyager sequel. I love those.
There was no secret about it,
I
okay? There
know.
was no effing secret about it.
There was no
Shut
secret
up.
about it, but
Go
it's
home. Go home.
I remember when it was first announced, we were like, "Ooh, what's this?" And then they're like, "Here's Janeway," and we're like, "Oh, Voyager sequel." I loved it.
I think our favorite one of all time, though, is, what is it, Robert Beltran accidentally going, "Yeah, so they had me back for a couple of episodes." Huh?
Everyone's like, "What? You're in this?" Yeah, no, it was great too, and I really loved it. Can't have any good things for that. Very short treks were these YouTube shorts that they were trying to do as an anniversary of the animated series, and they were written as comedies, and they're pretty much all terrible except for the last one, the fourth one. The fourth one was kind of fun because they brought a bunch of guest stars in, and it was a little like otherworldly. They're not canon. They're not canon, and they're not supposed to be canon, and they're like weird comedy. I just didn't like the comedy in most of them, so D. And Section 31 ranks above Nemesis, but still D. I'm really sad that movie wasn't good because I really was like looking forward to it. That's it. I think we did it. That's all Star Trek. You guys got
All
any
right.
final thoughts? I won't rank Strange New
Roll.
Worlds because we need to see how the rest of the show progresses. So, because it's not fair to rank it now. We've only seen 2 seasons.
Give it an F.
No, there is no F. There is no F because I don't think any Star Trek thing I've seen is an F. It's just like really low Ds. Like Nemesis and Section 31 and Final Frontier, I may not like them, but there's still stuff in them I do like. You know, they're not like complete washes. Like when I put MCU stuff in F, I'm like, those are complete washes. At least with those 3 movies, like, you know, there's stuff I like in them. You guys can tell I like Star Trek. Most of it's in S and A. A little in B. 1 C. Yeah, it's not the most even tier list, but you guys got any thoughts on Star Trek besides the fact I want more Star Trek and I'm sad that there's only like 2 shows and one won't air till
Can't get
next
more
year?
Star Trek.
I know. Paramount dumb. We need another animated show.
I just want to tell you also about. I told you this before, but chat where like you're like Jerry, you can't say you're not. Where I told you how it was the highlight of my day to pretend I was on the Enterprise when I was little with my cousins and the neighborhood kids.
You know what? That's how you know you're a true Star Trek
Like-
fan.
Like we just pretend we were in the Enterprise, and then like we had our different functions and everything. I was always watching the radars.
See, that's how you know you're a true Star Trek fan. Regardless of how much you've watched your like media imprint in it.
And if Hero Club
I
was
think
Star
that
Trek,
you're a true Star Trek fan
Jerry,
because of how much you engage with Star Trek. You know.
hey, sound out. And if Hero Club was an Enterprise, Jerry would 100% be our Worf. Without the jobbing.
But he'll be a DS9 Worf. I'll upgrade him to DS9 Worf.
He'll be late TNG DS9 Worf. Where like, all right, Jerry might get bodied once in a while, but he ain't gonna go body.
Does he get to be TNG movie Worf? Because TNG movie Worf never loses.
Actually, in the movie, yeah, the only thing, he even beats Picard because Picard's like, I am sorry, I should not have shouted at you.
Yeah.
I love how like he's just like, I am so sorry, I should not have shouted at you. And he goes, if you were any other man, I would have killed you though. And he's like, I know.
Yep.
Like that's such a Jerry thing when even Worf was like, I like where he pretty much says to Picard, I love you like family. That if you were not in my inner circle, I would have killed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. When I saw that, like when we were watching that scene, I'm like, this is literally me and Jerry to a T. and then Riker shows up, and I'm like, there's Project.
Yep. Wait, who am I in the TNG scenario?
We'll figure that one out.
All right, cool. Anyways, that does it for the show.
Say it. Let's see if you can guess it.
Am I the Geordie?
No, you're Data.
I knew I'd be Data. I just was like not confident in it. I wanted to be Data. That's why I didn't want to.
Come on. We all know who's Geordie in our group.
Ah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that hit me. All right. Well,
I can't wait till if he sees this and he curses me out.
You guys ready to call it a day? 'Cause
Yes.
I'm ready to call it a day.
WWE Raw started. Well,
Oh my God, Project just popped into the chat. We said his name too many times. We Beetlejuiced him into this chat.
Oh, we said his
our
name.
Beetlejuicing.
He appears.
Yep.
He believes in Joe Hendry.
Off topic, but Project, join us in TGF Discord when we're done.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you guys want to promote some stuff?
What do you got to plug?
Okay, yeah.
Do we have anything to plug? I mean, we can just not plug.
I mean,
I do.
Yes.
I mean, tomorrow you and me stream. Unless you're not showing up, I don't know.
I should show up. Last week was a weird thing that happened, so.
Yes, Common Rider 64. We will get one of those, and it'll be hosted by me.
Yes.
4 p.m. Eastern, by the way.
Oh yeah, I was gonna get that link. I'll save in my tier list. What was it? Oh, AR says, does that make the chat random unnamed crew members on the USS Hero Club?
Yeah. You guys can be sometimes the random members, and if you pay us enough money, we'll maybe give you a guest spot.
Ooh, like they could be like one of those random helmsmen that they always rotated through in TNG after Wesley left.
Exactly, like those like reoccurring guys.
Yeah.
Or like we could give them the whole lower decks episode where like 4 of them are like, yo, one of us is gonna get promoted, and then one of them dies.
Ooh, which one's dying? Anyways, moving on. On that note, do we have anything else we want to promote?
Not really. I mean, just go check out Hero Club at hero-club.com. Follow us across social media
And the
using Hero
YouTube.
Club for Life. Exactly. Follow us across social
Yes.
media. Go to the YouTube channel, watch our interviews, listen to them, check them out, and we should have that Jeff Nimoy interview out sometime this month. He did send us the video sound out for us to put into the
Good.
interview when we clip it.
That's kind of what I was looking for. So awesome. Cool videos this week, guys. Speaking of interviews, I have an interview that should be going out this week, barring any complications.
Eventually, it's coming.
I have an interview on this channel that I did because it's kind of an easy edit. The Jeff Nimoy one's a little bit complicated because it's a 3-hour video. But I got one coming this week, and this Friday should be the Transformers Studio Series / collaborative / comic edition rundown. So that'll be fun. And stay tuned for other things until then. We will see you next week for another great stream, and I hope you all have a great one.